Chapter 1909. Lin Fei didn't know whether to laugh or cry. What's so good about being a leader? Since the Tianci divine emperor had said so, and in front of everyone, he had successfully attracted everyone's attention. Therefore, Lin Fei had no choice but to do something. Although Lin Fei had broken into the 18th floor and brought out the immortal fruit, some ultimate god experts still had a lot of opinions about it. However, they did not dare to voice it out because of their relationship. It's not easy being a leader. The Tianci divine emperor was very optimistic about Lin Fei. Even though he was only an in-name disciple of his master, his future achievements were limitless. He had the potential to become a god emperor in the future. There were many people with the qualifications to be an emperor, but very few of them stepped into the god emperor realm. Lin Fei had this kind of potential. If Lin Fei really became the god emperor, it might not be a bad thing for the infernal realm. On the contrary, it was a good thing. With the incense offerings of the in-name disciples, the infernal realm would not suffer any losses. Even if he couldn't become a god emperor, he would still be a terrifying god emperor in the future. He had the space bloodline and time bloodline. Your Majesty, I don't agree with Di Tian being the leader. An ultimate god among the 36 ultimate gods said that in person. This person was an old man with a hint of death energy on his body. His lifespan had reached its limit, and he was an ancestor of the Wang clan named Godly Wangqing. When dealing with Di Tian, the Wang family had lost a lot of face. Because of this, the Wang family had a lot of opinions about Di Tian. Although Di Tian had become the divine emperor's junior brother, and they dared not do anything, Di Tian had caused them to lose a lot of face in the eyes of some of the old-fashioned ultimate gods. Divinity Wangqing was one of them. I also think that Di Tian is too young. I'm afraid he won't be able to shoulder the responsibility of being the leader. Another divinity, Venerable, spoke. He was from the Mu clan, and his name was Divinity Venerable Mu Yuan. With the divine emperor's words, the divine Venerable said directly. The Tianci divine emperor didn't say anything. Instead, he looked at Lin Fei with a smile, as if to say, "Look, someone's dissatisfied. Go and settle it yourself." It didn't matter if Lin Fei was the leader or not. Lin Fei did not have much interest in leadership positions. However, it was his own business whether to accept it or not. Being looked down upon by others made him very unhappy. "If I don't do it, do you think you're qualified?" Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. "Originally, if you didn't mention it, I wouldn't be the leader. But now that you've mentioned it, I'm not happy. Could it be that you want to be the leader? A mere high-level ultimate god battle prowess is nothing to me." These words were directed at Divinity Wangqing. His space bloodline and time bloodline had both entered the mid-level ultimate god level. Lin Fei really had nothing to fear. So what if he was a high-level ultimate god? Dongfang Yijian stared at Lin Fei and said, "Di Tian, I lost you last time. Now that I've mastered my unlimited speed, I really want to spar with you again. As long as you can defeat me, my Dongfang family will be willing to command you without a second word." Naturally, Dongfang Yijian would not let go of such a good opportunity. "Count me in too." Among the 36 ultimate gods, more than a dozen of them were unhappy with Lin Fei being the leader. Lin Fei laughed. Good. Whatever it is, it's best to say it face to face. Since you're unhappy with me being the leader, then defeat me. I won't say a word to anyone who defeats me. I won't go back on my word." Tianci Divine Emperor also laughed. "Don't worry, I won't blame you. After all, being a leader requires great strength. Challenges are inevitable. Just don't overdo it." That was equivalent to expressing his stance. Unlimited speed, unlimited strike. As Tianci Divine Emperor finished speaking, Dongfang Yijian drew his sword and stabbed. Unlimited speed, unlimited strike. After advancing to the ultimate god level, Dongfang Yijian's unlimited speed became extremely terrifying. It was as terrifying as its name suggested. Everyone felt a flash of light and shadow. Even their divine senses could not keep up with the speed of the sword. The ultimate gods present secretly gasped. If they were to encounter it, they might not be able to escape. The future experts of the infernal world lived up to their reputation. It was a pity that they had Di Tian. Dongfang Yijian was full of confidence in that sword. Even if Di Tian had a breakthrough, he might not be able to block the attack of his sword. As long as he defeated Di Tian, he would still be the #1 genius of the infernal world and the future #1 expert. Lin Fei was not the Lin Fei from the 18th floor. Whoosh! 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 The power of space and time were unleashed at the same time, setting off 2 storms. You lost last time. You'll still lose this time. Dongfang Yijian was unmoved. His unlimited speed was still able to restrain everything. When he was about to get close to Lin Fei, the power of space was like a solid wall, blocking the sword attack. The power of time also slowed down his movements. With just this move, Dongfang Yijian helplessly discovered that no matter how he moved, he could not unleash his true power in the face of this bloodline power. Dongfang Yijian stopped 100 meters away from Lin Fei, unable to take another step forward. The seemingly infinitely close distance had become a chasm at that moment. It was an existence that could not be crossed. I've lost. Dongfang Yijian sheathed his sword. The Dongfang family has no objections. He retreated. This old man doesn't believe that you can really be so strong. Hierarch Wang Cheng had hoped that Dongfang Yijian would seriously injure Di Tian. That way, he would not have to do anything. He did not expect Dongfang Yijian to lose so thoroughly. He cursed inwardly. Whoosh! Whoosh! Before Hierarch Wang Cheng could make a move, Lin Fei made the first move. The power of space condensed. Hierarch Wang Cheng could not move at all. The power of death surged and collided with the power of space. Then the power of time fell on his body, suppressing 70% of his speed. Whoosh! The river of time swept over like a long whip, lashing Hierarch Wang Cheng's body and causing him to spit out a mouthful of blood. Do you admit defeat? After advancing to the Hierarch level, he could control the power of space and time more easily. I admit defeat. Hierarch Wang Cheng lashed out a few times. Each time he could not block it. He knew that the gap between them was too big. Lin Fei retracted the river of time. You guys can come at me together. It will save you the trouble of fighting again and again. In fact, after Dongfang Yijian was defeated, no one had the confidence to defeat Di Tian. After Hierarch Wang Cheng was defeated, they were even less confident. Too presumptuous. Let's attack together. Lin Fei's words provoked them. The remaining dozen or so Hierarch experts attacked one after another. All kinds of powerful killing moves were used. Divine Emperor Tianxi set up a large formation to prevent the leakage of power to prevent the palace from being destroyed. The scene of more than a dozen Hierarch experts attacking was grand enough to make any Hierarch's scalp tingle. Divine Emperor Tianxi was also watching and thought, little junior brother's strength is indeed amazing. Blade of Time, Time Invincibility. Chapter 1910. Lin Fei mastered that move after entering the ultimate God realm. The Time Blade was more terrifying than the River of Time, as it was comparable to a divine emperor's treasure. The power it released was not something the ultimate gods could resist. At that point, the 36 ultimate gods were completely convinced. How could they be a match for someone who had mastered a high-level secret technique like the Time Blade? After Lin Fei defeated them, they set off for the Moan World in 3 days. 3 days later, the group set off for the Moan World. There was no need to fly from the infernal world to the Moan World. Instead, they had to go through another world to save a lot of time. The infernal world had a space door that connected to another world. The mysterious heavenly world was considered a relatively backward world and did not have a space door for the time being. Everyone can go in from here. Tianxi Divine Emperor came in person. He led everyone to a space door. No one was unhappy with leader Di Tian. Since he had successfully cultivated the time edge, he most likely had also successfully cultivated the other secret technique, the space edge. With both blades out, how could they fight? Little junior brother, I'll leave it to you. Tianzi Divine Emperor patted Lin Fei's shoulder. It's best to teach the divine world a lesson. I will. Lin Fei nodded. He was not only going to help the Moan world, but also to earn ultimate godhoods. As long as the Divine Emperor doesn't show up, I have nothing to fear. The current Lin Fei had the qualifications to say such words. Lin Fei was the first to enter the space door. The others behind him followed. I didn't expect to fight side by side with you against the divine world. Dongfang Yijin was now convinced of Lin Fei's ability. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that either. Lin Fei laughed. With your limitless speed, we will definitely give the immortal realm a big shock this time. Lin Fei attached great importance to Dongfang Yijin's unlimited speed. If it was not for his time power and space power suppressing the unlimited speed, it would have been difficult to defeat Dongfang Yijin. Dongfang Yijin was currently a low-level ultimate god, but his combat strength was comparable to a mid-level ultimate god. He was also able to affect a high-level ultimate god. His strength would become even more terrifying when his cultivation realm improved. Although Dongfang Yijin was convinced, it didn't mean that he would always be convinced. His unlimited speed could continue to make breakthroughs. As long as he could surpass Lin Fei one day, he would still choose to defeat Lin Fei. Right now, I really want to see if the experts of the deity realm are stronger, or if my unlimited speed is stronger. Dongfang Yijin was full of fighting spirit. Yes, you'll see it soon enough. From the Hell world to the Moan world, he needed quite a few transfer stations. Due to the existence of the space gate, the journey became much easier. The group passed through many transfer stations. Every time they passed through a transit station, they would be welcomed. If the Moan Kingdom world failed, it meant that they would also fail soon. Helping Moan world was equivalent to helping themselves. Everyone was very friendly along the way. It took Lin Fei and the others 10 days to reach the Moan world from the Hell world. Boom, boom, boom. They had just come out of the portal. Heaven and earth fluctuated unceasingly. You're finally here. That's great. The space gate of the Moan Kingdom world was located in a secret underground room. It was surrounded by restrictive formations and exuded a terrifying aura. As soon as they appeared, someone immediately came up to greet them. It was a middle-aged high-level ultimate god with an excited look on his face. The Moan Kingdom world had been looking forward to this group of helpers for a long time. Under the constant attacks from the divine realm, the Moan Kingdom world had sent out all their experts without any rest day and night. They were all involved in the battle and had reached a critical moment. Lin Fei was the first to come out. The middle-aged high-level ultimate god was a little confused as he did not know the person in front of him. He was too young and did not look like the leader. Little brother, where's your leader? In terms of aura, the high-level ultimate gods behind Lin Fei were very imposing. The high-level ultimate god from the Moan Kingdom world mistakenly thought that one of them was the leader. In the Hell world, they would have objections to the leader. However, once they were outside, they were very protective of the leader. Are your dog eyes blind? This is our leader, Sir Di Tian. Dongfang Yijin said in a deep voice. This is the leader? Gao Yang was dumbfounded. He's such a young leader. Did I make a mistake? Di Tian? This name sounds a little familiar. Gao Yang was also a well-informed person and found the name familiar. You're Di Tian from the mysterious heavenly world. Gao Yang suddenly exclaimed. Di Tian was very famous. He had wiped out the orthodoxies of the 8 divine emperors and entered the divine realm alone. It was not a secret. Gao Yang did not expect the Hell world to let Di Tian lead the team. Most importantly, was Di Tian's strength really that strong? Was he worthy of the cooperation between the Hell world and Di Tian? If there's no one else, then I'll be the leader. Lin Fei smiled. Gao Yang said enthusiastically, Brother Di Tian, on behalf of the Mon Kingdom, I'd like to thank you very much for bringing people to help us at this time. The Mon Kingdom world will never forget this. Lin Fei did not want to waste time on such things. Bring me to your battlefield. Is the divine realm attacking again? Gao Yang came back to his senses. I was too happy and forgot that everyone is still waiting for you. Everyone follow me. Mon Kingdom. It was in the middle of a battle. First was the dark mass of the divine realm army in the sky. In order to deal with the Mon Kingdom world, the 8 divine emperors of the divine realm gathered various forces to attack the Mon Kingdom together. There were more than 100 million heavenly gods. But that was not the most terrifying. The most terrifying thing was that there were more than 200 godly venerable ones. There were 19 peak godly venerable ones. It could be said that it was a crushing force. Any force would be defeated with a single touch. It was not easy for the Mon Kingdom world to last until now. Gao Yang brought Lin Fei and the rest to the temporary base camp. Since the divine realm attacked the Mon Kingdom world, the Mon Kingdom world had been retreating. Now there was only one big city left, the Mon Kingdom capital city. It was a huge city. All the forces of the Mon Kingdom world were gathered here. Huge restrictive formations covered the sky above the Mon Kingdom Empire, causing ripples in the air. Heavenly gods, divine kings, and even godly venerable ones were fighting outside. Deities were constantly falling. The scene was very bloody and terrifying. Heavenly gods were cannon fodder here. Divine kings were cannon fodder too. Chapter 1911. In the sky above the Mon Kingdom Empire, 3 divine emperors stood together, 2 in black and 1 in white. However, they did not look too good. This was because the 8 God Emperor treasures were hovering in the air outside the capital of Mon Kingdom, giving them immense pressure. As long as they interfered, the 8 God Emperor treasures would suppress them. Although the 8 divine Emperor treasures were not the actual divine Emperor treasures, they were treasures that were infinitely close to an Emperor God with unimaginable power. Every time the 3 divine emperors wanted to take action, the 8 divine Emperor treasures would suppress them. Have the people from Hell realm arrived yet? Divine Emperor Wu Yan in black armor asked with a sullen face. If they don't come soon, I'm afraid the Imperial City won't be able to hold on. The divine realm's attack is too fierce. Currently, the 3 of them could not take action and could only rely on the ultimate gods who were far weaker than the divine realm. Under such circumstances, the divine emperors of Mon Kingdom could only seek help from the other subworlds, hoping they would send experts over. It should be soon. Divine Emperor Tai Su said, Tensi and the others should know that they won't have a good time if the Mon Kingdom is breached. I'll send someone down to check it out right away. Divine Emperor Gong's son, you said. Meanwhile, outside the Imperial City, there were more than a dozen peak ultimate gods in the divine realm. They had yet to take action. Wu Yan and the others can't hold on any longer. A peak ultimate god said, They're just 3 divine emperors. They're dreaming if they think they can stop our attack. We'll definitely take down the Imperial City within 3 days, as long as we kill all the ultimate gods. We'll also kill the 3 divine emperors. These ultimate gods were very arrogant. However, they did have the confidence to say that. Without the ultimate gods, the divine emperors would be alone. With the 8 divine emperor treasures suppressing them, killing divine emperors would become easy. It was something very exciting for any ultimate god. Among the dozen peak ultimate gods, there was a red-robed ultimate god with the strongest aura. He was the leader of the team, Flying Rainbow Ultimate God. He was also a half-step divine emperor expert. Don't celebrate too early, everyone. The people from the other 5 subworlds will definitely interfere. Hierarch Flying Rainbow looked into the distance. You guys better be careful. The godly venerables were dismissive of the 5 child worlds' help. Among the 5 subsidiary worlds, only the Hell world could send people here. The other worlds could not withstand a single blow, which was why they attacked the Moan world first. The attacks did not stop. It was exceptionally intense. Gao Yang also brought his men and headed straight for the temporary gathering place. All the ultimate gods in the Moan world were gathered here. He's here, he's here. The ultimate gods gathered there reeked of blood from the battle. Some of them looked extremely pale. Gao Yang's voice caused them to reveal a trace of joy. Reinforcements had finally arrived. They had been waiting for a long time. Great! Our reinforcements are here. The ultimate gods breathed a sigh of relief. The three god emperors also turned to look at Zhang Xian. At a time like this, they could only count on the experts sent by the infernal realm. 36 ultimate gods still excited them. The three god emperors descended from the sky. But when they saw the leader of the group, they were all startled because they didn't recognize the person in front of them. To be able to walk at the front in such an occasion, he must be the leader. But he was too young. Gao Yang quickly eased the atmosphere. Lord, this is the leader of the infernal realm, Taoist Di Tian. He is the mysterious sky world's #1 expert and once made the divine world suffer a lot. They had never seen him before, so they didn't know him. But once his name was mentioned, everyone knew him. Di Tian, the mysterious sky world's #1 expert. That was a very famous name. But to the ultimate gods present, what did the infernal realm mean? Why did they let such a person be the leader? They heard that Di Tian's strength was at most at the divine king level. Many people were a little disappointed. The three god emperors' expressions did not change. They wouldn't ask about that at this time. The infernal realm could arrange for someone to come. Taoist Di Tian, I thank you for bringing people here. The Moan world needs you. God Emperor Wu Yen said with a smile, appearing very polite. God Emperor, you're too polite. Lin Fei didn't care about what others thought. We're all one. It's only right for us to help each other. This kid really knows how to talk. God Emperor Wu Yan had an evaluation in his heart. Di Tian wasn't a pompous person, but he didn't know what relationship he had with the Tianxi divine emperor. However, there was no time to find out. They had to deal with the crisis first. Oh no, the formation is broken. The ultimate gods are attacking. Something unexpected happened. The continuous attacks caused a huge gap to appear in one of the Moan world's imperial city's restrictive formations. The ultimate gods attacked from outside. In the blink of an eye, the people of the Moan world suffered heavy casualties. This kind of situation was very normal in recent days. Every time, godly venerable experts had to step in to stop them and chase them out. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The local ultimate gods of the Moan world attacked first. It had become a habit, without waiting for the people here to attack. A gap also appeared in the other restriction formation. Another group of godly venerable experts charged in. Just as God Emperor Wu Yen was about to attack, 8 divine emperor treasures rushed in and suppressed the 3 divine emperors. This was their strategy. As long as the divine emperors didn't attack, the peak ultimate gods had the upper hand. Brother Di Tian, let's cut to the chase. I hope you can stop this gap. God Emperor Wu Yen took out a black tower and slammed it against the divine emperor treasures. Please! In less than a moment, the 3 divine emperors were suppressed by the divine emperor treasures. I don't need to say anything. Everyone knows what to do. Lin Fei turned around and said. He turned into a stream of light and rushed toward the gap. Brother Di Tian, I'm here to help you. Dongfang Yijian followed closely behind. His fighting spirit soared. The other ultimate gods did not fall behind. They also knew that this was a big matter for the Moan world. If they did not stop them, it would be hell world's turn sooner or later. The gap was not small. The ultimate gods acted as the vanguard and killed the Moan world's experts, clearing a path for the teams behind to rush in. There were a lot of ultimate gods in this gap. There were as many as 50 to 60 of them, including 5 peak ultimate gods. River of Time. Lin Fei's blood was boiling. A river of time flew out and suppressed this part of the sky. The ultimate god experts at the gap were affected by the suppression and slowed down their movements. Space freeze. Lin Fei attacked again and activated his space power. This was a 2-pronged attack to gain an advantage. Chapter 1912. The Divine World had a huge army. Along the way, with the suppression of the 8 Divine Emperor's treasures, the Moan World had no choice but to hide in the Moan Kingdom's capital. Entering through the gaps in the formation became a way for the Divine World. Once in a while, the Divine World's army would create a gap. Therefore, every time they entered, they would inflict heavy losses on the Moan World. This time, under the leadership of Brahma, they once again inflicted heavy losses on the Moan World. As soon as they entered through the gap, they immediately gained the upper hand and defeated the Moan World's people. They could not stop their invasion at all. Ha ha ha, the Moan World's death is here. Brahma said proudly, how dare they fight against the Divine World? They're courting death. From another gap, the Divine World's experts also entered. The Divine World swept over like a torrent. As long as the Moan World's experts could not stop their attack, the Moan World would be completely defeated. From then on, the Moan World would be ruled by the Divine World. This was a great contribution. Brahma was feeling proud of himself. The river of time pressed down. The power of time rippled and affected their speed. An ultimate god's power of time. Brahma was a high-level ultimate god. He was immediately affected by the power of time and his expression changed. Impossible, the Moan World does not have a time bloodline master. Ever since they attacked the Moan World, they had investigated the strength of the entire world. Apart from the 3 divine emperors, the rest of the ultimate gods were vulnerable. Since when did the Moan World have a time bloodline master? More importantly, when the power of time reached the ultimate god level, it could affect the attacks of the ultimate gods. The surprise did not stop there. The power of space came again. Brahma and the other ultimate gods were in big trouble. Reinforcements, they must be from another world. Brahma was shocked. Lin Fei used the power of time and space to suppress the Divine World's ultimate gods. Kill them first. The ultimate gods who followed behind were also full of fighting spirit. 35 ultimate gods rushed forward. Unlimited speed, unlimited attack. Dongfang Yijian slashed his sword at the nearest low-level ultimate god. The troublesome time power did not affect Dongfang Yijian's offensive. The low-level ultimate god's reaction was much slower due to the river of time suppression. More importantly, he encountered infinite speed. How could a low-level ultimate god withstand it? Dongfang sent his opponent flying with a single sword strike. He then stabbed out with his second sword strike, displaying a terrifying attack. What's that? The 3 godly emperors of Moan World used their treasures to defend against the attacks of the 8 godly emperor treasures. Divine Emperor No Flame noticed the commotion not far away. A surging river swept across the sky, suppressing everyone. River of Time. Divine Emperor Wu Yen was shocked. Could such a turbulent river of time originate from the infernal realm? If that was the case, it would be much easier to defend against the mortal realm's army. The 3 of them were being held back by the Divine Emperor's treasures. There's also spatial energy. It's also at the ultimate god level. In the next moment, Divine Emperor Wu Yen was shocked once again. The traces of spatial energy fluctuations were too eye-catching. No Flame, it seems like the infernal realm has sent a powerful controller. Divine Emperor Taishu exclaimed. Time and spatial energy, they can't win. I remember now. I think only Ditian has the power of time and spatial energy. Gong Sun Yu exclaimed. Ditian? The strongest expert in the mysterious sky world. The 3 of them looked over. They could not believe it. The power of time and the power of space gathered in one person's body, and more importantly, cultivated to the same realm. This was truly rare. Many monstrous existences might not be able to cultivate to this realm. It's him. It's really him. The three godly emperors had sharp senses. They could feel the power of time and spatial energy released by Dition. This is great. They could see hope. Too monstrous. With the help of the power of time and spatial energy, they would not lose. The Immortal Realm's plan would be ruined. Lin Fei did not make a move. He could only control the power of time and spatial energy to ensure everyone's safety. Ha ha ha, this is awesome. With the power of time and spatial energy, this is awesome. I don't think the Immortal Realm experts are that great. The ultimate gods were all smiles. Even if they were not convinced in the beginning, they could now suppress the ultimate divinity with the help of the power of time and the power of space. They had never experienced this kind of advantage. The Immortal Realm had lost more than 10 low-level ultimate gods and 5 to 6 mid-level ultimate gods in a short period of time. I'll go kill him. Divine Emperor Brahma's face was solemn. The double suppression made Divine Emperor Brahma feel a great deal of pressure. It's all that guy's fault. Divine Emperor Brahma, who was in high spirits, knew things were not going well when he saw the casualties. His advantage had been evened out. It was all because of that black-robed kid. Divine Emperor Brahma broke out of the encirclement. With his high-level ultimate god strength, the power of time and spatial energy could suppress him, but he still had the strength to fight his way out. Divine Emperor Brahma knew very well that if he did not kill the black-robed kid, he would not be able to turn the situation around. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. One Lin Fei controlled the spatial energy and froze the space. Divine Emperor Brahma was very strong, but he could not break through the spatial energy. There were also high-level ultimate gods coming at him from behind, not giving him any chance. Lin Fei watched coldly as he tried to break through the barrier several times. Retreat! Divine Emperor Brahma was suppressed and his strength was greatly reduced. He had no choice but to retreat with his people. They're retreating. The ultimate gods from hell cheered. They had won the first battle. Among them, Dongfang Yijian killed the most ultimate gods. With the combination of time and spatial energy, his unlimited speed became the strongest weapon. The experts from Mon Kingdom also cheered. That was the fastest way to drive people out. At first, they couldn't believe it was true. In the past, they had to lose a large number of experts to resist wave after wave of attacks. However, they quickly won today. The Mon Kingdom was once again filled with fighting spirit. Go! The river of time pierced through the sky and came above another gap, suppressing the ultimate gods from the divine realm. Leave some people to guard the gap. The rest go help them. Lin Fei immediately made arrangements. Now, these experts of the underworld were very obedient to Lin Fei. If it was not for Lin Fei's help, they would not have achieved what they had. Another wave of ultimate gods joined in. Chapter 1913. A crisis was resolved just like that. The divine world's attack was blocked once again, leaving behind more than 20 ultimate gods' corpses. They had no choice but to retreat. The three divine emperors started to pay more attention to Dition. The other ultimate gods looked at him in a different light. In the beginning, everyone was puzzled as to why the infernal world would let someone from another world lead the attack. Now they understood. The number one expert in the mysterious sky world did have the ability to lead the attack. He had mastered the space and time bloodlines, two top-notch bloodlines that forced the divine world to retreat. After the divine world retreated, the three divine emperors announced a celebration for the guests from the infernal world. The Mon Kingdom capital was filled with cheers. The Mon Kingdom world had not achieved such a victory for a long time. They had always paid a huge price to stop the divine world attacks and completely suppress them. This was the first time the divine world had lost a lower-level ultimate god's corpse. For the divine world side, it was a huge blow. As the leader of the attack, Hierarch Long Rainbow was quite shocked. He knew there were reinforcements. The only thing he did not expect was that the reinforcements were so strong that they could easily defeat their attack. You can't be blamed for this. Hierarch Long Rainbow was not angry. Hierarch Long Rainbow already knew what happened. We didn't expect the infernal world to send such powerful reinforcements, said Hierarch Long Rainbow, and the one leading the attack is D-Tion. Hierarch Long Rainbow would never forget D-Tion's name. D-Tion had killed many people when he invaded the divine world. No one would forget that. Hierarch Long Rainbow was also a subordinate of a divine emperor, and naturally knew D-Tion. He was cultivating in seclusion at that time. After he came out, D-Tion returned to the lower realm and did not come out. Sir, the Moan Kingdom world has the help of D-Tion, a dual elemental bloodline controller. It will be very disadvantageous to our next attack, said Brahma Divine Emperor. The power of time and space can already affect our strength. It won't be easy to attack the last city of the Moan Kingdom world. The high-level ultimate gods were very clear. Because of D-Tion's appearance, the Moan world, which was on the verge of collapse, was no longer easy for the divine realm to conquer the Moan world. Venerated God Long Rainbow knew very well that the appearance of a dual bloodline master wouldn't have such an impact on the battle situation as he claimed it to be. Hierarch Long Rainbow had also witnessed the battle that had taken place in the arena. Even high-level ultimate gods dared not underestimate the time force's influence. Those low-level ultimate gods were suppressed and killed on the spot by the opposing ultimate gods. Everyone, don't worry. The Moan world has invited D-Tion. Our immortal world has vast resources, and it's not like we don't have time controllers and space controllers. Hierarch Long Rainbow laughed. I will contact the immortal world and have them send out time controllers and space controllers to restrain D-Tion. Everyone relaxed. Capital of Moan Kingdom. The three god emperors held a celebratory banquet. The experts of the Moan world heaved a sigh of relief. Ever since the divine world started their invasion, the Moan world had been losing. They hadn't won for a long time. During the banquet, everyone's focus was on D-Tion, this young man who had turned the tide. The three god emperors were especially enthusiastic. No one knew better than them the importance of a dual bloodline master. The Moan world also had a controller whose bloodline power was at the divine king level. It wasn't easy to go from one level to another. Lin Fei's appearance brought hope to the Moan world. After the banquet, someone arranged for the ultimate gods from Hell World to rest. Lin Fei also had a house and arranged for maidservants. He wasn't interested in this and asked them to be replaced. The house was very quiet. Taoist D-Tion, I heard you ask the maidservants to be replaced. Is it because they didn't serve you well? A black figure appeared in the house. Lin Fei was sitting on a stool when he stood up. Greetings, Divine Emperor Wuyan. The black-robed Divine Emperor Wuyan waved his hand and smiled. You've helped the Moan world so much. Calling me Divine Emperor sounds so bad. You might as well call me Big Brother Wuyan. Divine Emperor Wuyan thought highly of D-Tion. Just now, Divine Emperor Wuyan received a piece of news. If it wasn't from that person, he would have suspected it to be fake. D-Tion was the junior brother of the three god emperors of Hell World. The three god emperors of Moan World knew very well that the three god emperors of Hell World were brothers and were very united. They finally understood why D-Tion was the leader. Lin Fei could feel that this was Divine Emperor Wuyan's sincerity. He wasn't joking. Since Big Brother Wuyan said so, then I won't be polite. Divine Emperor Wuyan was very happy. I like your personality. The two sat down at the stone table. Divine Emperor Wuyan took out a bottle of immortal wine. This is from the God world. Try it, it's very good. He personally poured a cup for Lin Fei. This made Lin Fei feel a bit flattered. It was still very exciting for a god emperor to pour wine for him. Lin Fei took a small sip. It was indeed very good. He couldn't help but praise, "Good wine. If you like it, I'll send you a bottle when the time comes." Divine Emperor Wu Yan smiled. 2 cups of wine. The two became familiar with each other. Divine Emperor Wu Yan also saw Di Tian as someone on the same level as him. Di Tian had the qualifications. Although he hadn't entered the God Emperor realm yet, he would definitely enter the God Emperor realm in the future. There was no harm in befriending him now. "Little friend Di Tian, what do you think of the God world?" Divine Emperor Wu Yan asked. "It's very domineering." Lin Fei thought for a moment. The matter of the past is over. So many years have passed. There's no need to start a new war. I don't know when it will end. Lin Fei was not a person who liked to fight and kill. It was just that the situation forced him to kill. If he didn't kill, others would kill him. Divine Emperor Wu Yan was very surprised that Di Tian would say such a thing. He smiled bitterly. The God world is used to being domineering. They sealed our 6 subworlds and restricted generations of experts from entering the God world. This is a feud. Now they want to enslave us. No one is willing to accept this result. The reason why Lin Fei was running around was also to improve his strength. The God world wouldn't spare his 6 subworlds, and they wouldn't spare him either. Lin Fei was very clear on this point. "I heard that you're very interested in hierarch rank godheads and God King rank godheads." Divine Emperor Wu Yan suddenly changed the topic, throwing a storage ring to Di Tian. "This is a small token of our Moan world's appreciation. I hope little friend Di Tian can accept it." Lin Fei didn't need to look to know that there were hierarch rank godheads inside the storage ring. Chapter 1914. After a small victory. Surprisingly, the divine world chose to call a truce instead of attacking relentlessly like before. The experts of the Moan Kingdom heaved a sigh of relief. However, to the 3 God Emperors of the Moan Kingdom, it might not be a good thing that the divine world stopped attacking temporarily. On the contrary, a storm might come after the peace. After a discussion, the 3 God Emperors invited Lin Fei over. Ever since they found out that Lin Fei was the junior brother of the 3 God Emperors of the infernal world, they paid extra attention to him. After Tianxi God Emperor inadvertently revealed it, they sent him an ultimate God divine spark overnight. No one would look down on an ultimate God bloodline master with 2 top-notch bloodlines at that. "Big brother Noble Flame, did something happen?" Lin Fei asked as soon as he arrived. These days, Lin Fei lived a leisurely life. Apart from refining his bloodline, he also increased his cultivation level. The ultimate God divine spark was a waste, and his cultivation level was raised to high-level ultimate God. Every cultivation level was just enough for him to increase his bloodline power. Wu Yan, Celestial Emperor, had a good impression of Lin Fei. "I didn't want to disturb you, but we are worried about the divine world's actions, so we called you over to discuss our next move." Wu Yan, Celestial Emperor, said. Lin Fei came to the Moan Kingdom this time to assist them. He did not intend to be responsible for the specifics. The God Emperors were the ones to worry about. Lin Fei was quite surprised by Wu Yan, Celestial Emperor's words. "Big brother Wu Yan, you can discuss this among yourselves. There's no need to discuss it with me. I'm really not good at this." Taishu, Celestial Emperor, added, "Little friend Di Tian, you are the leader of the Infernal World team. You have the right to know our next move. Otherwise, you will become a laughing stock." "Yes, yes," Gong Sanyu added. Lin Fei did not know whether to laugh or cry. Even the God Emperors wanted to discuss their next move. What was going on? "Big brother Wu Yan, are you planning to ambush Divinity Longbow and the others?" Lin Fei suddenly asked. Divine Emperor Wu Yan laughed heartily. "I told you that you must have thought of this as well. Even a fool would know why the Immortal Realm's army did not move. God Emperor Tai Su and God Emperor Gongsun, you laughed as well. A surprise attack on the army of the immortal realm. Lin Fei had thought of this a long time ago. He did not bring it up. This was someone else's family matter, and it would be bad if he interfered too much. When Deity Emperor Noon Flame wanted to meet with them, Lin Fei had already guessed something. If things went wrong, they might launch a surprise attack on the Celestial World's army and disrupt their rhythm. Actually, I guessed it too. Lin Fei said, if Senior Divinity Longbow and the others don't make a move, they might contact the rulers. Once they arrive, the situation of Moan World will be very disadvantageous. Even Divine Emperor Noveblaze was impressed by Lin Fei's intelligence. We did have this idea, but we did not dare to carry it out. Now that you're here, you have the power of space and time, and you're also a hierarch. This gives us a great opportunity. Deity Emperor Noveblaze was very direct. I hope that you will lead the team to launch a surprise attack on Senior Divinity Longbow and the others. Me. Lin Fei was very surprised. Tai Su said seriously, that's right, you will be the leader. Lin Fei once again became the leader. This time he did not only lead the hierarchs of Hell World, but also the hierarchs of Moan World. There were more than 100 hierarchs. This was also the strongest force that Moan World could bring out. The 3 God Emperors had to restrain the 8 God Emperor treasures and could not act personally. The rest could only be left to Lin Fei. Helplessly, Lin Fei could only agree. Fortunately, with a small victory, the hierarchs of Moan World were very convinced. With the power of their top-notch bloodline, others would not be able to take advantage of them. The hierarchs who had been suppressed for a long time were all excited when they heard that they were going to launch a surprise attack on the Celestial World's army. Most importantly, the leader was Di Tian. With the help of the spatial energy and time energy, they became bolder. They had the upper hand in the same realm, the temporary headquarters of the Celestial World's army. Hierarch Long Rainbow was waiting for the ruler of the Celestial World to come down. The Moan World's final struggle was nothing in Hierarch Long Rainbow's eyes. The news about Di Tian was also in front of him again. This Di Tian is really haunting us. Hierarch Long Rainbow put down the documents. No matter where we go, this guy will be around. After staying hidden for 100 years, he has appeared again. What shocked Hierarch Long Rainbow the most was that Di Tian's bloodline power had increased to the Hierarch realm in a mere 100 years. That was the most shocking thing. Just how did that guy cultivate? Hierarch Long Rainbow could not understand. No matter how he cultivated to the Hierarch realm, as long as the people from the Celestial World come down, they can naturally suppress Di Tian's double bloodline. No matter how powerful he is, his bloodline power is at most a low-level hierarch god. At the very least, it would be a mid-level hierarch god. It would be best if we can kill him. Lin Fei used the power of space to envelop everyone. It isolated all auras. Only Lin Fei could do such a thing. Of course, a divine emperor could do it too. The group quietly arrived above the temporary base camp of the Celestial World Army. The Celestial World Army was huge. This time, we're going for the beheading operation. Our target is the Hierarch God Experts. As long as we kill the Hierarch God Experts, our mission will be completed. Lin Fei's aura was steady. Later, when I cover that area with my power of time and space, all of you attack like crazy. The surprise attack at night was also a kind of decapitation operation. Although it was Lin Fei's first time carrying out a beheading operation, he knew how to kill the Hierarch God most efficiently. Over 200 Hierarch God experts attacking at the same time, coupled with the influence of the power of time and space, would definitely be able to catch the Hierarch God experts off guard. Lin Fei was very confident about that. The Hierarch God experts behind him were also convinced. Without Di Tian, they would not be able to kill the Hierarch God so easily. If they were surrounded by the Celestial World Army, the consequences would be unthinkable. No one had any objections to Lin Fei leading the team this time. They all agreed to let Lin Fei lead the team. All right, all of you get ready. Lin Fei was waiting for the 3 divine emperors to make their move. The power of 8 divine emperor treasures was still very terrifying. All right, it's time to strike. Divine Emperor Wu Yen stood in the night and took out a divine emperor treasure. It was a black pagoda that suppressed the Celestial World Army's temporary base camp. Divine Emperor Tai Su and Divine Emperor Gongsun, you also took out their divine emperor treasures. A terrifying aura enveloped the Celestial World Army's temporary base camp. 3 godly sovereign treasures shot over, followed by 8 godly sovereign treasures, suppressing through the air, simultaneously turning the tools of the godly sovereign treasures. Attack! Lin Fei led the group to the sky above the base camp. Whoosh! Whoosh! The river of time flowed by like water. The huge Celestial World Army's camp was enveloped in the power of time. Space Cage! Time Cage! Chapter 1915. The power of time and space increased once again. 2 cages were cast and trapped the group of hierarch experts in the divine world. The divine world's ultimate gods who were still resting reacted and used their powers to resist. However, they could not resist the effects of the 2 powers on their bodies. Oh no, my speed is being suppressed. Damn it, it's the time cage. Break it. The ultimate gods reacted quickly. Their reaction was fast, but the attacker was even faster. Without needing Lin Fei to say anything, the 200 ultimate gods behind him rushed down excitedly and took out all kinds of treasures. A loud rumble came from below. That infinite speed kid is here again. Everyone watch out. The divine world's ultimate gods had suffered from Dongfang Yijian's infinite speed before. When they saw Dongfang Yijian, who was charging at the forefront, they all secretly felt fear. I didn't expect that I, Dongfang Yijian, would one day make my enemies fear me. Dongfang Yijian laughed. With the help of time and space powers, his attacks became extremely domineering. Lin Fei stood in the night. He used his abundant divine power to control the 2 powers to his heart's content. Tonight, Lin Fei did not have much to do. He only had to help them. The high-level ultimate God space and time powers can suppress 80% of their speed and power. Lin Fei observed. Their power had increased greatly. In just a short while, the divine world's ultimate gods were injured or killed. The more I kill, the better. If one of them died, the ultimate God divine core would belong to him alone. That was Divine Emperor Wu Yan's good intention. So Lin Fei accepted it without hesitation. No wonder the space controller and time controller are top-notch bloodline powers. Lin Fei was well aware of the effects of the 2 bloodlines. The divine world's ultimate gods could only passively attack. Their speed and power were suppressed. It would be strange if they did not lose. Divine Emperor Wu Yan, you're shameless. Divine Emperor Long Rainbow flew out and looked at the 3 divine emperors who were holding back the 8 divine emperor treasures. He cursed them for choosing this moment to attack. Murderous intent surged in the depths of his eyes when he saw Di Tian in the night sky. Divine Venerable Long Rainbow could clearly sense that the power of his bloodline had increased once again. He didn't have time to be shocked. He had to stop Di Tian. Ha ha ha! Divinity Long Rainbow, aren't you shameless enough to attack our moon world? I can't believe you actually said that. Divine Emperor Noveblaze raised his eyebrows in elation as he watched Divine venerate Long Rainbow stamping with rage. Tonight, I will kill all of you until your vitality is greatly damaged. The Tai Su Immortal Emperor let out a rare laugh. Only you are allowed to attack us, but we are not allowed to attack you? All the people of the divine world should die. Hierarch Long Rainbow was indeed furious. The only thing he didn't expect was that the people of the Moon world would be so daring to attack the army of the divine world. More importantly, they even attacked the hierarch. Everyone attack Di Tian. Hierarch Long Rainbow was not enveloped by the power of time and space. He ordered his army to attack. Lin Fei didn't care about the attacks of these heavenly deities and god kings. Their attacks were all blocked outside, unable to get close to him. It's better if you do it yourself. They won't be able to hurt me. Lin Fei shook his head. This was the strength of a controller. More importantly, Lin Fei wasn't an ordinary controller. Path of Death. Hierarch Long Rainbow didn't expect his army to harm Ditian. He only wanted to distract Ditian, but it seemed like that wasn't going to work. The Path of Death flew through the air. This was a God Emperor treasure. It was also one of the 8 God Emperors. This Path of Death contained endless power of death, and at the same time, a trace of the might of an Emperor treasure. In order to kill Ditian, Hierarch Long Rainbow drew out one of the God Emperor treasures. Divine Emperor Noveblaze had no idea that the Great Rainbow Divine Sovereign could activate the treasures of Divine Emperors. He exclaimed in shock, "Little friend Ditian, this is something that Divine Emperor Mystic Devil gathered countless vengeful souls to refine. Be careful." The Path of Death whistled through the air. The power of time and space in the surroundings was shaken loose. One of the 8 God Emperor treasures had appeared. The remaining 7 God Emperor treasures made the 3 God Emperors wary. They could only use this method to deal with Ditian. Spatial Blade. Lin Fei already sensed the extraordinariness of the Path of Death. His power of time and space wouldn't be able to withstand it for a while. Lin Fei multitasked. He formed spatial blades and fired them at the Path of Death. The spatial blades were elusive. They didn't clash head-on with the Path of Death, but every attack seemed to be blocked by the Path of Death. Whoosh! Just as he was about to reach Ditian, the Path of Death, the God Emperor treasure, turned into a black giant. It stood in the sky, and endless resentment surged into the sky. Divine Fist of Death. The black giant threw a punch at Ditian. Boom! Boom! Another punch came. The power of space and the power of time completely collapsed. What a terrifying deity Emperor treasure. It can actually transform into a life form and can even use fist techniques. This is too terrifying. Lin Fei was secretly shocked. Whoosh! 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 The power of space condensed again and formed layers of defense. The opponent's fist technique was too terrifying. Any attack in front of it was easily shattered. Lin Fei also felt the killing intent enveloping him. After blocking more than 100 punches, the fist technique still exploded within 100 miles of Lin Fei. It created endless waves that caused Lin Fei's blood to churn. He almost couldn't suppress it anymore. The black giant's first punch failed, so he punched again. He threw over 10 punches in a single breath. Each punch was like a God Emperor's attack. It was extremely terrifying. Lin Fei had to control the power of time and space while blocking the black giant's attacks. He couldn't afford to be distracted. Ha ha ha, Ditian, no matter how strong you are, you won't be a match for a God Emperor treasure. Hierarch Long Rainbow's expression relaxed. With the Path of Death, he should be able to kill Ditian. Invincible defense. Lin Fei activated his invincible defense and took the 10 punches head-on. Each punch consumed a large amount of divine power. Dodge. That wouldn't work. Lin Fei didn't bother dodging and chose to take it head-on. Dead. He must be dead. Hierarch Long Rainbow was overjoyed when he saw Ditian choosing to take it head-on. As long as Ditian was dead, there wouldn't be any trouble left. Divine Emperor Noveblaze and the others felt their hearts in their throats. Don't die. They had underestimated the power of the God Emperor treasures, left behind by the 8 veteran God Emperors. But they couldn't do anything now. I'm fine. Divine Emperor Noveblaze soon saw Ditian. He was unharmed, just a little ragged. Great. The other 2 God Emperors heaved a sigh of relief. At the same time, they were shocked. What kind of treasure did Ditian use to block the attack of the god Emperor Treasure? Chapter 1916. Divine Venerable Long Rainbow was indeed given quite a fright. That was an attack from a divine Emperor Treasure. Even he did not dare to block it. Why did Ditian manage to survive it? Most importantly, he was completely unscathed with a pair of blind eyes. The divine world's godly venerables, who were suppressed by the power of time and space, thought that they could break free and regain their advantage. They could not wait for Ditian to be heavily injured by the divine Emperor Treasure. Even after a dozen attacks, they still suffered a heavy blow. How could they continue fighting? With the help of Ditian's power of time and space, the divine world's godly venerables were top-notch supportive weapons. They suppressed the divine world's godly venerables and killed them continuously. Hierarch Long Rainbow was infuriated, but there was nothing he could do. Even a divine Emperor Treasure in human form would be useless, let alone him. I don't believe that he has an invincible body. Hierarch Long Rainbow gritted his teeth and summoned another divine Emperor Treasure to attack Ditian. This divine Emperor Treasure was a towering tree called the Seven Jewels Sacred Tree. It contained terrifying, offensive power. The treasure also turned into a green-robed man. Ditian, let's see how you're going to block it. Lin Fei was under a lot of pressure. Another divine Emperor's treasure was indeed a headache for him. The green-robed man's attack was terrifying. As a divine Emperor Treasure, its offensive power was naturally not to be underestimated. Lin Fei could only activate his invincible defense and keep moving, trying to hold on for as long as he could. At that moment, the godly venerables of the Moan realm had the upper hand. They had also killed 50 to 60 godly venerables. This was already a great victory for the Moan realm's experts who had been suppressed for a long time. Everyone, let's put in more effort and kill them all. Lord Ditian is buying time for us. Everyone, let's go. Seeing that Lin Fei was holding on without fear of death, the aura of the people below rose again, and they started a crazy attack. Dongfang Yijian, in particular, became a frighteningly fast swordsman. Almost no one could block the attack of his unlimited speed. After that battle, Dongfang Yijian also became a headache for the divine world. His name spread across the entire divine world, and he became a terrifying expert not to be underestimated among the younger generation. Even Ditian is so persistent. How can I fall behind? Dongfang Yijian's attacks became faster and faster as he looked at Ditian, who was blocking left and right. It was the same for the others. They knew very well that the reason why they had the upper hand this time was because they had the assistance of the power of time and the power of space. That was why they were able to attack without worrying about anything. If he didn't go all out now, when would he get the chance? He swallowed all kinds of pills without holding anything back, just to kill the divinities of the divine world. As such, the divinities of the divine world were utterly defeated. There was really no way to continue. The double suppression of time and space forces had more or less suppressed their strength. Low-level ultimate gods were the most frustrated as they were almost instantly killed by high-level ultimate gods. Seeing that Ditian was fine, they were defeated everywhere and couldn't see any hope. Everyone's hearts turned cold. Hierarch Long Rainbow saw that morale was low. Continuing would only increase the casualties. Retreat. Helpless, he could only choose to retreat. 2 God Emperor treasures couldn't kill Ditian, so Hierarch Long Rainbow didn't know how he could kill Ditian. This kid was too strange. Haha, they retreated. Chase, that's awesome. All 8 God Emperor treasures flew back to where they came from. They blocked the path of retreat. The terrifying God Emperor aura made the ultimate gods very afraid, and they all stopped. Hierarch Long Rainbow was the last one to retreat. His expression was extremely ugly as he stared at Ditian in the distance. Ditian, I'll remember what happened today. You won't be so lucky next time. Lin Fei stood with his hands behind his back. My luck has always been good. You guys have to be careful. You might not be able to leave next time. Arrogant. Hierarch Long Rainbow turned around and left after saying that. Hierarch Long Rainbow led his army away from the Moan Kingdom capital. They had suffered heavy losses during the decapitation operation. Hierarch Long Rainbow dared not let his guard down. If there was another attack, all his experts would be gone. We won. They're finally gone. How long has it been? We finally won. The ultimate gods of the Moan Kingdom looked at Dition with admiration. They knew very well that without Dition's help, they would not have achieved what they had. They could not let Hierarch Long Rainbow, who had the upper hand, retreat. The three god emperors came to Lin Fei's side. Dition, are you all right? You scared us to death. God Emperor Noonflame was very concerned. They did not know how to answer to the three god emperors of the Hell world if anything happened. I'm fine. I was prepared. Otherwise, I would have suffered a great loss. Lin Fei said. The three deity emperors' eyes brightened. They admired Dition's intelligence even more. He knew how to prepare for a rainy day. Although they wanted to know how to block the attack of a deity emperor's treasure, they didn't dare to ask. Long Rainbow has retreated. The Moan Kingdom can finally heave a sigh of relief. God Emperor Taishu's expression relaxed. Yeah, Gongsun, you smiled. We have to thank Dition for that. Hierarch Long Rainbow's people retreated to the edge of the Moan Kingdom world. That was also where they had invaded. Hierarch Long Rainbow was afraid. A night attack had resulted in heavy losses. You said we lost 93 ultimate gods. Hierarch Long Rainbow roared as he listened to his subordinate's report. He could not accept the loss. Every ultimate god was a treasure. The subordinate who reported the news was scared out of his wits and stood motionless. Give me the exact number. Hierarch Long Rainbow tried to calm himself down. Dition's figure kept appearing in his mind. If it was not for him, they would not have suffered such a huge loss. 56 low-level ultimate gods, 31 mid-level ultimate gods, and 6 high-level ultimate gods. Hierarch Long Rainbow did not feel the pinch when the low-level ultimate gods died. However, it was painful to lose so many mid-level and high-level ultimate gods. Ever since they invaded the Moan Kingdom world, the divine world had never suffered such a huge loss. At most, they would lose 2 or 3 ultimate gods. All right, you may leave now. Hierarch Long Rainbow waved his hand and dismissed his subordinate. Hierarch Long Rainbow did not expect that night's attack. 93 ultimate gods. They had killed 93 ultimate gods, and none of the 200 ultimate gods they brought with them died. It was a huge victory. The people of the Moan Kingdom world were overjoyed. Not long ago, there was a small victory followed by another huge victory. The people of the Moan Kingdom world saw hope. It turned out that the experts of the divine world were not that strong after all. Chapter 1917. As for the beheading operation at night, Lin Fei was actually quite satisfied with it. Even if the divinity world was very confident, they would still feel the pinch for a while after killing 93 ultimate gods. Those were ultimate gods, not deity kings. It was inevitable that she would bear a grudge against him. Lin Fei dared to attack because he was not afraid of being targeted by the ultimate gods. 93 ultimate god level godheads. Compared to my divine power loss, it's still a lot. Lin Fei had blocked the attacks of 2 divine emperor treasures, and the amount of divine power he had lost was extremely terrifying. Fortunately, he had a strong foundation. If he had been attacked by a few more divine emperor treasures, he would have been the one to run. No matter how powerful his invincible defense was, it would not have been able to withstand the terrifying consumption. Divine Great Rainbow won't let this go easily. He will definitely come back for revenge. I will definitely become a thorn in his side. In the courtyard, Lin Fei sat under the night sky. The attack of 2 deity emperor treasures consumed at least 20% of my divine power. I have to recover the lost divine power first. Abundant divine power was Lin Fei's biggest guarantee. If it weren't for the support of his dense divine power, Lin Fei would not have been able to hold on. Both the power of time and the power of space required divine power. I have to think of a way to exchange for a batch of divine ranges from the 3 deity emperors. Lin Fei did not go to them. The 3 deity emperors came to him first. This time, the biggest contributor was Lin Fei. They needed to thank him. If it wasn't for the fact that they were worried that Hierarch Long Rainbow would come back to kill them, they would have held a celebration party. Since the beginning of the invasion of the Divine Realm, the Moan world had never achieved such a great victory. This time, they had killed 93 hierarchs, which was a great help to the war situation. All of this was thanks to Lin Fei. Even if Lin Fei was not as strong as them now, what about in the future? Who could guarantee that once they stepped into the deity emperor realm, they might not be stronger than Lin Fei? I knew that you didn't go out. That's why I brought some immortal wine over. Let's all get drunk and have a good time. Divine Emperor No Flame was as straightforward as ever. Lin Fei wasn't a wine lover, but he was very interested in the Noon Flame Divine Emperor's immortal brew. 3 big brothers, you came at the right time. I also have something to discuss with you. Lin Fei had not known them for long, but he could see that the 3 of them were good people. We can talk while we drink. The 3 deity emperors were also very happy today. The immortal brew was poured. The 4 of them toasted first. Noveblaze put down his cup. You are a great hero of our Moan world. Feel free to speak your mind. Lin Fei also put down his cup and said, Then I won't stand on ceremony. Big brothers should know that I cultivate the power of bloodline, which easily consumes my divine power. I want to buy some divine veins from the 3 god emperors to refine. Tai Su Immortal Emperor waved his hand. Brother Di Tian, what are you talking about? You've worked hard for our Moan world. How can a mere divine range be bought? Dozens of divine ranges flew out. Heaven rank divine range and earth rank divine range. Take them, don't stand on ceremony. I have some too. God Emperor Gongsun, you smiled and took out dozens of divine ranges too. You should have told us earlier. Noveblaze Divine Emperor thought it was something important, but it turned out to be about divine ranges. They had plenty of them. With a wave of his hand, dozens of divine ranges were taken out. They knew that the power of bloodline consumed divine power. Naturally, they wouldn't let Lin Fei buy them back. If the Tianxi God Emperor and the others heard about it, they would be laughed at. Lin Fei wasn't short of money. He had many things on hand. Any one of them would cause quite a commotion. Lin Fei was very excited that the 3 god emperors were willing to take out divine ranges. Almost 300 divine ranges was indeed a lot. No one could refine them in a short time. However, to Lin Fei, these divine ranges were nothing. With the help of the system, he could refine them easily. Thank you, big brothers, Lin Fei said. However, his last sentence shocked the 3 god emperors. But these divine ranges are far from enough. In the 3 god emperors' opinion, these divine ranges were enough for Di Tian to use for a long time. Not enough? The 3 of them were dumbfounded. They had never encountered such a thing before. Lin Fei smiled bitterly. My cultivation technique is different. It requires a lot of divine ranges. Therefore, ordinary divine ranges won't be enough. I'll have to trouble big brothers to help me find some divine ranges. After the shock, the 3 of them came to a realization. Perhaps it was because Di Tian's cultivation technique was different that he could withstand the attack of a god emperor's treasure. The more they thought about it, the more they felt that it made sense. Some powerful secret arts needed divine power to support them. Perhaps there really were some secret arts that could withstand the attack of a god emperor's treasure. That's easy. Isn't it just divine ranges? We have plenty of them. We can supply you with heaven-grade divine ranges. Novblaze Divine Emperor took out his heaven-grade divine range without hesitation. The other two did the same. As God Emperors, they had many treasures on them. Divine ranges were one of them. This should be enough for you to refine for a period of time. Novblaze Divine Emperor smiled. Lin Fei shook his head. It's still not enough. The three God Emperors widened their eyes. You're a bottomless pit. In the end, the three God Emperors could only buy divine ranges for Lin Fei. Lin Fei took out experience elixirs. They were used to level up. He had a lot of them now. When he consumed a large number of experience elixirs, his cultivation speed would be faster than using divine power. The three God Emperors liked it very much. Apart from the experience elixirs, Lin Fei also pointed out that with these experience elixirs, one could cultivate secret arts. It was much easier than thinking hard. At first, they did not believe it, but after a little experiment, they were shocked. There was such a miraculous elixir in the world. It was beyond their expectations. Without Lin Fei saying anything, the three God Emperors went to collect divine ranges. They would not miss out on such experience elixirs. Lin Fei could only take them out for now. If his strength reached the God Emperor realm, and his bloodline power reached the God Emperor realm, Lin Fei would not mind selling his bloodline power. But now he did not dare to take them out. There were not many controllers because of the difficulty of producing bloodline power. Apart from that, there was also the problem of increasing their bloodline power. After obtaining enough divine ranges, Lin Fei immersed himself in absorbing divine power. At the same time, he began to refine the bloodline power for the 18 controllers. Before reaching the godly venerable realm, the bloodline power would be suppressed. Lin Fei understood this well. While godly venerable Long Rainbow was away, Lin Fei needed to improve his primordial world doppelgangers. Every time he improved, it would be of great help to him. Every portion of bloodline power was cheap. The Moan world welcomed a short period of peace. The Immortal World Army did not attack again. Chapter 1918. Moan World. It's done! In a secret room in a mansion, Lin Fei, who was dressed in a black robe, had a smile on his face again. My time power and space power have finally reached the high-level ultimate god level. Lin Fei went all out once again to deal with the upcoming predicament. He had raised his space power and time power to the high-level ultimate god level as he wished. At that time, Lin Fei could 100% affect a high-level ultimate god expert if he used the space power and time power. That's right, 100%. Even a peak ultimate god expert would be affected by 80%, except for divine emperors who were slightly immune. At that level, the time power and space power had become a great terror. No matter who it was, they would have to be extremely cautious. Lin Fei could finally breathe a sigh of relief. Now that the two bloodline powers have reached the high-level ultimate god level, I can also use some powerful secret techniques. On the 18th floor, Lin Fei had obtained a lot of bloodline power secret techniques to practice. He also had time and space power. He could not use them before because his bloodline power had not reached that level and could not withstand the secret techniques requirements. Lin Fei did not dare to use them as the backlash would be too great. Now that his bloodline power had increased again, Lin Fei had the confidence to use powerful bloodline secret techniques. There were several extremely powerful bloodline secret techniques in his memory. The time bloodline was time annihilation. It was a powerful secret technique. Once it was used, everything within the time range would be completely annihilated. No life could survive. Using this technique required the support of a huge amount of divine power, and its power was unimaginable. The space bloodline was space collapse. It was also a powerful secret technique that was not inferior to the time bloodline. It also had a huge amount of divine power. With these two secret techniques, Lin Fei was completely relieved. At the edge of the Moan world, Long Rainbow Ultimate God had not launched any attacks since the last time he retreated. He was waiting for someone. A month later, someone was here. Brother Long Rainbow, I'm sorry for being late. At the temporary base camp, two middle-aged men, one in black and one in white, stepped forward. Hierarch Long Rainbow had personally brought Hierarch Longbow out to welcome them. It was a grand welcome, and it was obvious that he valued the two of them greatly. Not late at all. Hierarch Long Rainbow had given them enough face. These two were no ordinary controllers. Instead, they were time controllers and space controllers. Their statuses were no lower than his. After all, any controller's potential was immeasurable. Hierarch Long Rainbow warmly invited the two of them inside. He personally took out some immortal wine to serve them. The two controllers, one in black and one in white, retracted their arrogance. They were the subordinates of two god emperors. As the commander of the army, Hierarch Long Rainbow had to show them some respect. Since Hierarch Long Rainbow didn't show them any respect, if they didn't, they would become a laughing stock. After the reception, the black-robed space controller's son, Yuan, asked, Taoist Changhong, didn't you say that your army suppressed the Mon Kingdom? Why did you retreat here? The two of them did not participate in the battle. Many people in the divine world paid attention to the news of the divine world's army. Everyone knew that the army of the immortal realm had been victorious. That was why Controller Sun Yuan asked curiously. Awkwardness flashed across Hierarch Long Rainbow's face. He smiled bitterly and said, Even if the two of you didn't ask, I would have told you about it. Our divine world's army was on the verge of victory. Unfortunately, we met someone who forced us to set up camp here. I'm sure the two of you have heard of that person. He is Tian from the profound sky world. His bloodline power has reached phenomenal success, and he attacked our divine world's army at night. The two controllers were shocked. Tian's bloodline power has reached phenomenal success. It has indeed reached phenomenal success. He suppressed our people and killed 93 of our divine world's hierarchs in a single sneak attack. Hierarch Long Rainbow said helplessly, This time, we still need the two of you to kill Tian. At the very least, we need to delay him. Both the black-robed controller Sun Yuan and the white-robed controller Lei Wu had heard of Tian. It was hard to imagine the battle in the divine world. The only thing they didn't expect was that Tian's strength had increased so quickly. White-robed Lei Wu smiled and said, Don't worry, Taoist Long Rainbow. Since we are here, we will be Tian's nightmare. I have a good idea. Since he dares to launch a sneak attack, we will launch a sneak attack as well. The three deity emperors of the Mon world are nothing to worry about. If we suppress Tian, the Mon world's defeat will be imminent. Hierarch Long Rainbow's eyes lit up. Counter sneak attack. This is a good idea. We will return the favor. Let them have a taste of being suppressed. After some discussion, the three of them decided to launch a sneak attack on the Mon world's capital that night. Hierarch Long Rainbow also went all out and mobilized twice the number of hierarch experts of the Mon world. There were about 500 hierarch experts to launch a sneak attack on the Mon world's capital. That night, the moon was bright and the stars were sparse. Lin Fei sat in the courtyard and enjoyed the silence. After dealing with the trouble in the Mon world, I will return to the profound sky world. Although the profound sky world was the weakest among the 6 worlds and all its resources had been plundered by the divine world, it was inevitable that the profound sky world would become the divine world's temporary encampment. Lin Fei had to go back and take a look. Apart from that, Lin Fei vaguely knew some things about Emperor God Tianxian from the 3 god emperors. This monstrous and outstanding emperor god had once suppressed the divine world and created the mysterious sky world, forming a world of its own. Then something happened and the profound sky world declined. Lin Fei felt that something was wrong. Unfortunately, he could not figure it out with just a few words. He planned to do a thorough investigation after returning. "We're here." The black-robed Sun Yuan controlled the space energy and brought the 500 hierarch gods to the outside of the Moan world's capital. A cold light flashed across Hierarch Long Rainbow's eyes. "Leave the breaking of the array to me," Hierarch Long Rainbow said. "Use 8 godly emperor treasures to attack one point and break the array immediately. I will leave the rest to you two." White-robed Lei Wu smiled. "With the two of us here, we will definitely help you take down the last stronghold in the Moan world. After taking down the Moan world, I will treat you two to a drink." Hierarch Long Rainbow was in a good mood. "It's a deal." Hierarch Long Rainbow walked out and took out the 8 godly emperor treasures. The power of the godly emperor treasures soared to the sky. Boom! Boom! 8 terrifying attacks landed on the same point one after another. A huge hole was torn in the array. No one expected the divine world to carry out a midnight assassination. When the array was broken, the 3 godly emperors appeared. The black-robed Sun Yin and white-robed Lei Wu each used their space energy and time energy, as well as their high-level ultimate god bloodline power to sweep the hole in the array. The hierarch gods who rushed to help were affected by the time energy and space energy. The 500 hierarch gods attacked together. Chapter 1919. This time, Hierarch Long Rainbow had come with the determination to win. Ruler Sun Yuan and Ruler Lei Wu opened the way and immediately suppressed the ultimate gods of Moan World. They even killed a few ultimate gods in the blink of an eye. 500 ultimate gods charged at them. It was a shocking scene. "Are you surprised, Divine Emperor Wu Yan?" Hierarch Long Rainbow said proudly, "Last time you attacked at night. Now I'll do the same. This is called reciprocity." Although Emperor Afternoon Flame expected Hierarch Long Rainbow to counterattack, he did not expect him to use this method. Night attack. It was another night raid. There's no method in a battle. You should have known this day would come when you invaded the Moan world. Emperor Afternoon Flame resisted the attack of the divine Emperor Treasure. When he saw the 500 ultimate gods charging at him, his face darkened, especially the black and white rulers. "Well said." Hierarch Long Rainbow snorted. "Let's see how you're going to block my attack this time." When the power of time enveloped the experts of the Moan world, Lin Fei also sensed it immediately, and he flew up into the sky. "Go." The river of time swept toward the 500 ultimate gods. Ruler Lei Wu had already noticed it. He too summoned his river of time and met it head-on. "Di Tian, I'm your opponent tonight." Boom! The 2 time rivers collided. The power of time spread in all directions. "Kill them." Without Di Tian's power of time, the people of the Moan world can't block our attack. Attack! Attack! The divine world's ultimate gods were no longer afraid. The last time they had fled in a sorry state was still fresh in their memories. It was because they had suffered a loss due to the power of time. Under the envelopment of the power of time, their strength had been greatly restricted. Lin Fei knew he had met his match. As soon as they fought, he knew his opponent was also a top-notch ruler of time bloodline. His bloodline power had also reached the level of a high-level ultimate god. "Di Tian, I'm your opponent." The spatial blade slashed across the sky. His opponent had also condensed a secret technique like the spatial blade. Lin Fei was not afraid at all. The huge spatial blade behind him flew forward. They fought back and forth in the night and ended in a draw. "I'm proud that you're working together against me." Lin Fei grabbed with his hand and condensed a time blade, thrusting it at Lei Wu. "One against the 2 of us? How arrogant of you!" Master Lei Wu sneered. The river of time transformed into a blade of time as it charged forward. It was Lin Fei's first time fighting a ruler of the same level. He had to admit that the 2 of them were very powerful. They did not even give him a chance to suppress the 500 ultimate gods. Without the assistance of time and space energy, the Moan world side began to collapse. They couldn't resist the attacks of the ultimate gods and started to suffer varying degrees of casualties. Path of Death, Tion. Divinity Long Rainbow summoned the God Emperor treasure, the Path of Death, to suppress it. Of divine God of Death said. Honorable Divinity, Long Rainbow sneered. 2 top-notch controllers and a divine Emperor treasure. Even if they can't kill you, they'll exhaust all your divine power. This was also Hierarch Long Rainbow's plan, whether it was the power of space or the power of time. They both required divine power to activate. As long as he exhausted Tion's divine power, he would be able to achieve victory. Tion would no longer be a threat. Revered Rainbow's plan was very good. How shameless! Lin Fei did not feel much pressure when facing the two of them. It was just that he was entangled and could not free his hands. The Path of Death came pressing down, and the pressure multiplied again. A belly full of evil tricks. This is exhausting my divine power. Being attacked by the Path of Death, Lin Fei had no choice but to activate his invincible defense. His divine power was also being consumed rapidly. When Lin Fei took the Path of Death head-on, the black-robed Sun Yuan and the white-robed Lei Wu both realized why Divine Reverend Long Rainbow was so angry at Tion. It turned out that Tion was this strong. They were also willing to use up Tion's divine power. From the very beginning, their mission was to keep Tion busy until their divine power was depleted. Damn it, I can't let this go on. These 2 bastards are trying to use up my divine power. Lin Fei cursed inwardly. I have no choice but to use a terrifying secret technique. Spatial collapse. Lin Fei was very familiar with this secret technique, so he did not face any resistance when using it. A terrifying aura instantly spread out. Boom! The space around Lin Fei began to collapse. Ruler Sun Yuan had been fighting the entire time. When he sensed the terrifying aura, he cursed inwardly and tried to flee. However, he was still struck by the terrifying destructive power of the spatial collapse. The Path of Death was also sent flying, but he was not injured. This use of the technique consumed a large amount of divine power. Its power was not bad. Lin Fei temporarily regained his freedom. Time obliteration. Lin Fei did not hold back and used another powerful secret technique. The impact of time landed on Ruler Lei Wu. This move was too fast. Crazy. This is time obliteration. Ruler Lei Wu had suffered serious injuries. If he had not blocked a portion of the impact, he would have been severely injured if he had not been careful. Even they did not dare to use such a powerful technique. Ha ha ha, Tion, you really are a madman. Don't you know that this technique consumes the most divine power? Ruler Lei Wu calmed down and revealed a look of joy. Lin Fei's figure flashed, and he charged into Ruler Lei Wu's range. So what if I'm a madman? Time obliteration. This time, the distance between them was infinitely reduced. Within the same area of time, a terrifying aura once again rose. You're crazy. Ruler Lei Wu was the first to bear the brunt of the attack. Even his voice was trembling. This was a powerful secret technique that consumed divine power. Even Lei Wu, the controller, would find it difficult to defend against such an attack. It was very difficult to defend against the terrifying might of the power of time. Ruler Lei Wu spat out blood. You can get lost now. Lin Fei arrived in front of Ruler Lei Wu and punched him in the face. Close combat had always been his forte. Ruler Lei Wu had been beaten to the point of vomiting blood, and now that he was in close combat, there was no way he could block Lin Fei's punch. In less than a moment, there was not a single part of his body that was unscathed. Sun Yuan, save me. Although Ruler Lei Wu was strong, he had a weakness. Ruler Lei Wu's weakness was his frail body. How could he withstand Lin Fei's violent attacks? Cracks appeared on his divine body, and it seemed like he would shatter in a moment. Ruler Sun Yuan did not expect the situation to change so quickly. Lei Wu, who had been fighting Di Tian just a moment ago, was in danger in the blink of an eye. River of Time. Lin Fei waved his hand, and a river of time appeared behind him. Ruler Sun Yuan was dumbfounded. Chapter 1920. That's great. The three divine emperors were very worried about Di Tian's safety. Two divine emperors who used the same bloodline power as Di Tian were extremely terrifying. The most shameless move was when Divine Ruler Rainbow took out one of his 8 divine emperor treasures. The 3 divine emperors knew very well what kind of conspiracy they were up to. However, they could not afford to split into 2. They had to join forces to resist the attacks from the 7 divine emperor treasures. None of them could withstand the attacks from the divine emperor treasures. That was their strategy all along. The 3 divine emperors were shocked by the 3 secret techniques. The destructive power of those techniques was extremely terrifying and almost impossible to resist. They finally understood why Di Tian needed a large number of divine pulses. Furthermore, the more the better, and there was no such thing as too much. Master Sun Yuan wanted to help. The monstrous river of time prevented him from using his full strength, as he was also affected by the power of time. After all, the power of time was much higher in status than the power of space. It might be easier to deal with other bloodline powers. However, Master Sun Yuan was helpless against the power of time. He was only a high-level ultimate god after all, and was affected by the power of time. Even if the power of space could resist part of it, he was still 80% suppressed. That was much better than an ordinary high-level ultimate god. At the same time, Master Sun Yuan did not dare to get too close. Master Sun Yuan did not want to experience the power of the secret technique space collapse a second time, as he was filled with doubts. Is this guy really a bottomless pit? That was a secret technique that could be used 3 times. Divine power could not withstand such a torturous consumption. However, the truth was right in front of him, and Master Sun Yuan could not afford to doubt it. Divine Ruler Rainbow was not happy for too long. Di Tian had broken through the joint attack of 2 top-notch divine rulers. Lei Wu's strong divine body was also covered in wounds because of Di Tian's weakness. Divine Venerable Long Rainbow's face turned ashen when he saw this. Why is it like this again? Divine Ruler Rainbow's face was ferocious as he took out his ultimate god treasure. It was a treasure fragment called the Chaotic Divine Destruction Sword. It was an emperor treasure from a long time ago. Its power was unimaginable. When Divine Venerable Long Rainbow used it, its power was comparable to a divine emperor's treasure. Although the Sword of Destruction was just a fragment, it was still very terrifying. It was also thanks to this treasure that Hierarch Long Rainbow was able to become the strongest below the God Emperor. Whoosh! An afterimage flashed past. Lin Fei's brows twitched. With a single thought, spatial energy appeared in front of him. The afterimage slashed out with its sword, blasting apart the power of space and heading straight for Lin Fei's forehead. The power of this sword was still very terrifying. At that moment, the path of death came crashing down again, and its might had increased by quite a bit. Lin Fei was attacked from both sides. Lei Wu's reaction was also very fast. He shot out explosively, layer after layer of time energy blocking in front of him. He wanted to escape from Lin Fei's grasp. As long as he could increase the distance between them, he would still be able to restrain Di Tian. Di Tian, you've used your secret skill 3 times in a row. Let's see how much divine power you have left. Lei Wu sneered. The blade of time slashed through the air, not letting go of this best opportunity. Lin Fei's black hair fluttered as he laughed. You can't compete with me in terms of divine power. Time obliteration. It was another great secret technique. Boom! The speed of time energy was simply unstoppable. Lin Fei endured the two attacks and used his great secret skill once more. A monstrous might washed over Lei Wu's body, sending him flying out of the Imperial City and crashing into the Array Formation. He can still use a great secret skill? Sun Yuan's heart trembled. What kind of monster is this? Even the attacks of two God Emperor treasures can't break through his defense? Lei Wu was repeatedly hit by the great secret skill. His vitality was greatly damaged. Taoist Long Rainbow, I can't hold on any longer. I'll be leaving first. Lei Wu took out a spatial door and dove in, not even looking at Divine Long Rainbow's expression. Staying alive was more important. If he used another great secret skill, he would lose his life. Divine Long Rainbow was like an enraged lion. Sun Yuan, don't be afraid. Di Tian doesn't have much divine power left. Let's attack together. Divine Long Rainbow was secretly cursing Lei Wu for being a coward. I guarantee that he can't hold on any longer. He's already at the end of his tether. Fearing that Sun Yuan would also leave, Divine Long Rainbow desperately activated the Chaos Origin Annihilation Sword. Multiple sword shadows slashed out. He was going to risk it all. Sun Yuan was still afraid. A battle between space and time? The chances of victory were not high. Lin Fei was most wary of the time controller. As long as he was present, his power of time could not affect him. The river of time transformed into a blade of time that slashed at Sun Yuan. I'm not playing either. Without Lei Wu restraining him, Sun Yuan did not dare to fight back. He was not even afraid of the attacks of God Emperor treasures. How could he fight back? Taking out a space gate, Zhang Xian dived into it without any hesitation. Bastard! Divine Long Rainbow seemed to have suffered a heavy blow. The two peak controllers he had invited had left just like that. Did it mean that he had wasted his efforts again? Whoosh! The power of time swept over. Divine Long Rainbow, a peak ultimate god, knew he was in trouble. I've heard that peak ultimate gods are very powerful. I wonder if you're that powerful. The power of space surrounded him. Lin Fei first suppressed Divine Long Rainbow and smirked. Time obliteration. Space collapse. Two secret techniques were unleashed at the same time. The moment Lin Fei's lips curled up into a smile, revered god Long Rainbow knew that things were about to go south. However, it was a pity that he couldn't break free from the combination of the two powers. The Great Secretary's power was unleashed at the same time. Even though Divine Long Rainbow was a peak ultimate god, he did not have it easy as he was drowned in the secret technique. Whoosh! 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 Lin Fei once again activated the power of time. The 500 ultimate gods from the divine world were terrifyingly powerful. Without the suppression, they were like ferocious tigers. Lin Fei had to suppress them. The ultimate gods from the divine world who were in the midst of killing suddenly felt their speed slowing down. Their minds could not keep up with the speed. They secretly cursed and looked up at the sky. Divine Long Rainbow was nowhere to be seen. All hail Di Tian! Brothers, here's our chance. Kill them all and avenge our brothers. The ultimate gods from the Moan world who were still at a disadvantage were delighted. It was the long-awaited feeling again. That was great. The situation suddenly changed. Time cage. Space cage. Two cages were unleashed at the same time with one layer inside and one outside. This time, Lin Fei did not plan to give them a chance to leave. Chapter 1921. It was a battle of divine power. Lin Fei was not afraid of anyone. Who asked him to have such a huge amount of divine power? Lin Fei was in great pain after continuously using the Great Bloodline secret technique. He had no choice. He would not be able to gain the upper hand if he did not scare one of them away. Thankfully, everything was under control. Anyone who had cultivated to this level would be afraid of death, and the controller was no exception. Hence, Lei Wu's controller had fled. Without the restraints of the time power, it was easy to deal with the space master. Unexpectedly, Sun Yuan was also very timid. He did not have the courage to attack even when Divine Venerable Rainbow suggested to join forces and left Divine Venerable Rainbow alone. Lin Fei's worries were resolved. In order to vent his anger, he continuously used two great bloodline secret techniques to make Divine Venerable Rainbow suffer. No matter how capable Divine Venerable Rainbow was, Lin Fei did not believe that he could fight him head-on. In fact, Divine Venerable Rainbow was attacking with his great bloodline secret technique. He took out all kinds of defensive treasures. Countless defensive treasures were destroyed during that period. Divine Venerable Rainbow was in great pain as he watched. However, he could not resist the terrifying power of the great bloodline secret technique and was drowned in it. If Divine Venerable Rainbow was given another chance, he would not have foolishly rushed forward. Instead, he would have stayed far away. He did not expect Di Tian's divine power to be so strong that he could continuously use the great bloodline secret technique. On top of that, Di Tian's great bloodline secret technique was upgraded to the high-level ultimate god level. Divine Venerable Rainbow was drowned in it. The pitiful enemies from the divine world who had just gained the upper hand. They were surrounded. The double suppression of the time power and space power dealt a fatal blow to them. They could not see any hope. The high-level ultimate gods could not break free at all. On the other hand, the ultimate gods from the Moan world were all full of fighting spirit. It was almost a one-sided situation when a dozen or more people besieged an ultimate god. One by one, the ultimate gods fell in the night. They would never have thought that a good night attack, a battle operation, in a situation where they clearly had the upper hand, would end up with the same scene that happened that night. Some of the ultimate gods who participated in the night attack were from the last time. They wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to take revenge. With two top-tier controllers around, there was nothing for them to worry about. The only thing they were afraid of was Di Tian, the dual bloodline controller. Everyone else was nothing in their eyes. No matter how they attacked, under the suppression of the two top bloodline powers, they had no chance to struggle and escape. Cough, cough, cough. In the end, Divine Great Rainbow was able to endure the attacks of the two great secret techniques. However, he was in a much more sorry state than Lin Fei. His face was drained of blood. Di Tian, you've ruined His Majesty's plans time and time again. This enmity is irreconcilable. Hierarch Long Rainbow's voice grew weaker. He summoned back his 8 God Emperor treasures and attacked the time cage and space cage. No matter how much revered God Long Rainbow hated Di Tian right now, he couldn't just watch as the revered gods died one after another. If all of them were to die, how was he going to answer to them when he returned? Supporting his body that was on the verge of collapsing, he broke through the seal of the double bloodline and finally gave the divine, venerable ones hope. Retreat! After breaking the seal, Hierarch Long Rainbow repeated what he had said before. Retreat. They had to retreat. 2 waves of secret technique attacks had severely injured Hierarch Long Rainbow. Even peak ultimate gods could not take it. Let's go. That Di Tian is a nightmare. I won't come back to face Di Tian in the future. He's playing with his life. After finally regaining their freedom, the ultimate gods wished their parents had given them more legs. Lin Fei snorted coldly. Time obliteration. Space collapse. Lin Fei chased after him. Once again, he cast 2 great secret technique attacks. Leave. He had to leave some of them behind. Lin Fei was still hoping to plunder a batch of divine veins from them. Otherwise, he would have to make up for his losses this time, right? Although Hierarch Long Rainbow wanted to leave, he still had to suppress the 3 God Emperors. However, when the 2 waves of secret technique attacks came, he knew he could not take it anymore. He could not withstand such attacks with his current body. Whoosh! A spatial door flew out, and Hierarch, Long Rainbow, entered it. He did not want to experience such a terrifying attack again. Hierarch, Long Rainbow, could not care about the others. Low-level ultimate gods did not have spatial doors, as they were not cheap. Some high-level ultimate gods hurriedly took out their spatial doors and entered it. However, there were only a few of them. Most of them were not so lucky and were directly drowned by the two forces. Low-level ultimate gods died on the spot. Mid-level ultimate gods were not much better off. They were also on the verge of death with their powerful divine bodies in tatters. A heaven immortal could kill them. High-level ultimate gods were a little tougher, but they were not much better off. "Don't kill us, we surrender." "I surrender." "I don't want to die, don't kill me." The ultimate gods who barely managed to survive were terrified. Just now, countless ultimate gods were killed or injured in that wave of attacks. Only a few managed to escape before the attack arrived. They could not care less and chose to surrender. The three god emperors were shocked by the secret technique attack. That kind of lethality was too terrifying. How much divine power did it consume? They did not dare to think about it. Even they, who had a strong foundation, secretly took a deep breath. That was not the way to play. Lin Fei did not suffer any losses from those ultimate gods who surrendered. The three god emperors did not stop them as they needed a real victory. The tragic ultimate gods were killed by the ultimate gods who caught up. None of them survived. Run. How could they run when they were seriously injured? What a scam! Those were the words they wanted to curse before they died. What a great victory! Divine Emperor Wu Yen came to Lin Fei's side with a face full of joy. "You're amazing!" The three god emperors were elated. They killed about 400 ultimate gods in that great victory. Although the Moan realm had lost some ultimate gods in the beginning, the tables turned and it was the divine realm that suffered heavy losses. "I finally know that whoever fights, you will not have a good ending." Divine Emperor Tai Su laughed. "Even Hierarch Long Rainbow was scared away by you." "They will retreat after this." Divine Emperor Gongsun Yu said. "They can't afford to lose any more." Lin Fei thought so too. Just now, he had painstakingly used his great secret technique again to force the immortal realm to retreat. "It's good that they retreat." Lin Fei laughed. Boom, 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 just as everyone was cheering. Chapter 1922. The crimson light radiated in all directions. The entire world was dyed crimson. Everyone who was originally happy was stunned. And then they revealed a wisp of a serious expression, especially the three god emperors. Their faces were filled with respect. Their sharp eyes pierced through the void, staring at the crimson light pillar. The legend has appeared. Why would it appear now? Chaos, chaos is about to descend. Lin Fei felt a terrifying aura from the crimson light pillar. Brother Noonflame, what is this? Even Lin Fei could feel the extraordinariness of the crimson light pillar. At this moment, the entire hell world was dyed crimson, and this crimson color spread quickly. 6 subworlds, and then the divine realm. Almost everyone stopped what they were doing. Some were surprised, some were shocked. God Emperor Noonflame took a deep breath, staring at the crimson light pillar. The divine realm will not act again. Everyone must focus on the crimson light pillar, because the God's child is about to appear. So it was the God's child. Lin Fei understood. He had heard about the God's child a long time ago. It seemed like the God's child had appeared earlier than expected. Could it be that something had happened? The God's child's aura is extraordinary. Lin Fei had heard all sorts of rumors about the God's child and could not help but feel a little surprised. God Emperor Taishu nodded. The God's child is formed from the will of the heavens and earth. Every God's child is a super monster. Perhaps one of them will become an emperor, rule the world, and create a new era. Lin Fei was shocked. What a high evaluation. This was an era without an emperor. Even a god emperor could forget about dominating an era. Only a god emperor had the right to rule an era and establish a peerless empire. Lin Fei sensed that he was very far away from the crimson light pillar. There seemed to be a mysterious force blocking him. He was shocked. Was he going to be born with a silver spoon in his mouth? The three god emperors returned to the Mon En kingdom capital. The next day, Hierarch Long Rainbow retreated with his army. With a batch of Hierarch dead, Hierarch Long Rainbow's army was no longer strong. If not now, then when? The god's child appearance would have a much greater impact than an invasion of a subworld. When the news spread, everyone cheered. We won! We won! The entire imperial capital was filled with cheers. Lin Fei, who was in the courtyard, also heard the noise coming from outside. I didn't expect the immortal world to retreat just like that. Dongfang Yijin laughed. Unfortunately, I haven't killed enough. In a short period of time, Lin Fei and Dongfang Yijin had good chat. The combination of the two had given rise to Dongfang Yijin's fame. In the immortal world, he would probably become a powerful opponent that everyone would attach importance to. Ha ha ha! You've killed 50 to 60 godly lords. You can be considered a professional godly lord. Lin Fei laughed. You are now the fastest sword who dares to fight with you. Dongfang Yijin also knew that because he was Ditian, his infinite speed could be used perfectly. Once he left Ditian, his infinite speed would not be as dazzling unless his infinite speed entered the high-level ultimate god realm or even the divine emperor realm. I originally wanted to fight alongside you, but it seems like I can only do it next time. Dongfang Yijin said, when that time comes, I will still challenge you. Lin Fei did not mind. You are welcome to challenge me any time. After the immortal world retreated, Lin Fei left the Mon world under the warm welcome of Divine Emperor Noonflame. Divine Emperor Noonflame was also generous. Other than giving Lin Fei the divine veins of the godly lords he killed, he also prepared a generous gift, all of which were heaven-level divine veins. Lin Fei accepted it with a smile. Lin Fei quickly returned to Hell World through the dimensional door. Divine Emperor Tianci personally came to welcome him. Brother Ditian, I knew you could do it. Lin Fei was very surprised. He could feel the importance that Divine Emperor Tianci attached to him. Big Brother Tianci, you must be joking. I'm just afraid that I won't do well. Lin Fei laughed. All right. Don't think I don't know what kind of person you are. Don't try to fool me. Divine Emperor Tianci laughed. Slaughter, they are all waiting for you. Follow me. The other godly lords looked at Lin Fei enviously. They were completely convinced now. If it was not for Ditian leading the team, many of their ultimate gods would have died outside. It was precisely because of Ditian's help that they only lost more than 20 ultimate gods, which was not a lot. Big Brother Tianci, did something happen to you in such a hurry to welcome me? They arrived at the independent space of Hell Mountain. Under a pavilion, Massacre Divine Emperor and 100 Flowers Divine Emperor were both sitting there. Our hero is back. The Hundreds of Flowers Divine Emperor chuckled. Massacre Divine Emperor's expressionless face also revealed a trace of a smile. 100 Flowers Divine Emperor, you must be joking. 100 Flowers Divine Emperor supported Lin Fei, leading the team. The combination of time power and space power was enough to defeat everything. You're really humble. 100 Flowers Divine Emperor continued to laugh. Nowadays, there aren't many youngsters as humble as you. Divine Emperor Tianci invited Lin Fei to sit down. Massacre Divine Emperor poured a cup of celestial brew for Lin Fei and raised his eyelids. You did well. Hell World is borrowing your light. Lin Fei knew that Massacre Divine Emperor rarely spoke. To be able to say this meant that he recognized someone. I'm a junior brother and also a part of Hell World. Big Brother Massacre. You don't have to say this. Both Divine Emperor Tianci and Hundred Flowers Divine Emperor liked Lin Fei. Not everyone had this kind of temperament that was neither arrogant nor conceited. You know about the godson, Divine Emperor Tianci said. Lin Fei nodded. I know. The 108 godsons are about to be born. I heard that they are born with the will of heaven and earth. They are very monstrous. Divine Emperor Tianci said. This is just ordinary news. In fact, the 108 godsons will all be abnormally monstrous. They are all born with extremely strong bloodline talent. At the same time, there will also be invincible bloodline. In other words, the future will be a powerful era. Invincible experts will appear and dominate an era, or even several eras. Lin Fei listened quietly, but his heart was also surging with waves. Invincible bloodline. Invincible expert. This is not something that can be said casually. This is really getting more and more interesting. Lin Fei still remembered the existence of invincible bloodline in the treasure tower. Invincible divine emperor bloodline. He didn't expect that this level of expert would really appear. Divine Emperor Tianci underestimated Lin Fei's mental endurance. He didn't feel any uneasiness. Chapter 1923. Divine Emperor Tianci and the others were indeed optimistic about Lin Fei's in-name junior brother. How many people would have top-notch double bloodlines? Once he stepped into the divine emperor realm, he would be one of the top divine emperors. When a godson was born, the competition would be extremely intense. The experts of the divine world would also come out in full force to fight for these monstrous geniuses and revitalize the strength of their sections. Being born with the will of heaven and earth was quite terrifying. They naturally hoped that Lin Fei could also accept some godsons as disciples. If Lin Fei accepted more, the mysterious sky world would also be a potential powerful ally of the underworld in the future. That was why they said such words. If it were them, they would not say it even if they were beaten to death. There was no need for it. On the same day, a celebration banquet was held in the capital of Mon Kingdom. Lin Fei had become the main character, without a doubt. During this period, all the divine venerables came up to toast and express their gratitude. The celebration banquet lasted until late at night. It was rare for Lin Fei to have a good drink. He did not refuse anyone. On the second day, Lin Fei bid farewell to Divine Emperor Tianci and the others and prepared to return to the mysterious sky world. Before leaving, Divine Emperor Tianci gave him a generous gift. It was also a heavenly divine pulse. They were all paying attention to the situation in the Mon Kingdom. They also knew that this junior brother cultivated a powerful cultivation technique and needed the support of vigorous divine power. Therefore, they prepared 3,000 heavenly divine pulses. Only divine emperors could do such a big thing. Returning to the mysterious sky world was very fast. The space door that was set up previously was put to use. Lin Fei teleported back one by one. If he went to the underworld next time, it would not be so troublesome. Lin Fei set up a space door. As long as he went back to build another space door and connect the two spaces, he would be able to go back and forth. Standing on a nameless star, Lin Fei could still see the blood-red color between heaven and earth. There were a total of 108 blood-colored light pillars. Invincible bloodline, invincible expert, my system might not be afraid of you. Lin Fei looked at those light pillars and felt very proud. So what if he was born with the will of heaven and earth? He had the great system and could also refine and absorb the invincible bloodline. He was very close to reaching this step. As long as he reached the God Emperor realm, he would be able to cultivate the invincible bloodline. Lin Fei really hadn't thought about taking the Divine Sun as his disciple. He stepped into the profound sky world once again. Lin Fei used his divine sense to scan the entire profound sky world. I'm back." The last time he left, he was still a god king. He had returned as a high-level ultimate god expert. They retreated so quickly. Lin Fei had just swept the entire profound sky world, and the people from the 8 major sects had all retreated. After killing the big shots of the 8 major sects, Lin Fei went into seclusion for 100 years. The strength of the 8 major sects in the mysterious sky world increased tremendously. Originally, Lin Fei had planned to wipe out the 8 major sects, but he did not expect them to leave in advance. This was inevitable. The news that Hierarch Long Rainbow suffered a great loss in Moan World and led his army back to Moan World inevitably spread out. Among them, Lin Fei was the focus. Anyone would have to think twice about the double bloodline power that could affect a high-level ultimate god. Therefore, the 8 major sects retreated overnight and temporarily left the 8 major sects behind. It's good that they left. Saves me the trouble of chasing them out. Back to Invincible Palace. Invincible Palace was now the undisputed #1 sect. Lin Fei had been out for a while. He first spent a few days with his wives, then guided his daughter's cultivation and released a large number of divine kings to improve Invincible Palace's strength. Invincible Palace was still very powerful without the ultimate god experts. For safety's sake, Lin Fei rearranged a formation with the power of space and time inside and outside to form a super-killing formation that could be used against high-level ultimate gods. It was only then that Lin Fei felt relieved. After setting up the restrictive formation, Lin Fei once again came to the secret chamber and began preparing to upgrade his 18 primordial avatars. Lin Fei realized the power of the bloodline was enough to suppress an ultimate god expert after his bloodline power broke through to the ultimate god level. While the 108 sons were not born, Lin Fei decided to upgrade his 18 primordial avatars. In the secret chamber, the 18 primordial avatars sat cross-legged together and took out the bloodline power and refined it into the avatars' bodies. Lin Fei did not stay idle either. With the ultimate godhead, he pushed his realm to the peak ultimate god realm and was only 1 step away from the divine emperor realm. Peak ultimate god, I can refine the bloodline power again. Lin Fei refined the heaven-level divine pulse that was sent to him. The 8 major sects retreated from the mysterious heavens world. The news also caused a huge stir in the mysterious heavens world. The 8 major sects expanded their forces very quickly. Other than the Invincible Palace's territory, the 8 major sects had their footprints in other worlds. Later, there was news that Invincible Palace's #1 expert, Tian, had done something sensational outside. He killed hundreds of ultimate god experts and scared the 8 major sects into leaving. The news spread like wildfire. Invincible Palace did not deny it. Everyone was shocked. His strength had improved to such a level in 100 years. On the other hand, the forces of the 7 overlords sent over gifts of congratulations. All of them were heavenly, ranked, divine veins. This news was clear to the forces behind them. The 8 major sects territories were quickly swallowed up by the 7 major overlords. Lin Fei did not come out to stop them. Lin Fei did not care much about the 7 major overlords' forces. As long as they did not come out to cause trouble, it was just a piece of territory. What was there to care about? Since the gifts were sent, Lin Fei accepted them without hesitation. As his realm advanced to the peak ultimate god realm, Lin Fei was not afraid that the 8 major sects would invite peak ultimate gods to deal with him. If they really came, they would be the ones regretting it. Every day, his strength was increasing. Lin Fei worked hard to improve his bloodline power and the 18 primordial avatars at the same time. He did not pay much attention to the outside world. The Earth Controller, done. The Ice Controller, done. The Divine Fire Controller, done. Under the acceleration of time, the primordial avatars increased their realms to the ultimate god realm. What followed was the improvement of their bloodline power. The divine power consumption was also huge. Lin Fei could bear it. At most, he would go to the divine world and make a fortune. Time flew by in the outside world. In the blink of an eye, 50 years had passed. In those 50 years, whether it was the 6 child worlds or the divine world, it was relatively quiet. The blood-colored light pillar between heaven and earth had also become unusually demonic. Chapter 1924. It was a rare, peaceful day. The blood-colored light beam was red and demonic. 50 years had attracted countless eyes to the blood-colored light beam. Any of the talented and potential divine princes had the potential to become an emperor and dominate an era in the future. No one wanted to miss such an opportunity. They were waiting for the day of their birth. The 51st year, the boundless, blood-colored light swept across the world. All the major forces in the world could not sit still. They all showed up and activated their treasures to arrive at the blood-colored light beam, waiting for the moment of their birth. On an uninhabited planet, the blood-colored light beam stood in the sky and was extremely domineering. The blood-colored light beam turned billions of miles into a forbidden zone. Even the powerful divine emperors could not break the power of the forbidden zone and could only wait outside. The hell world wants this place. 3 divine emperors arrived on the uninhabited planet. The divine emperor's aura shot up into the sky and crushed everyone, regardless of whether they agreed or not. They were all sent flying into the endless void. Forbidden zones were everywhere. Experts from all walks of life showed up one after another. There were also some old farts who joined in to show their power. In the entire heavens and the earth, there were ceaselessly rumors of some old undyings making an appearance with formidable combat strength, suppressing all experts and occupying position after position. Most of them were experts from the divine realm. Among them, peak ultimate gods and old monsters whose combat power was no less than a divine emperor also showed up to fight for the rights of the forbidden zones. 60 to 70 positions were occupied by forces from the divine realm. The 8 divine emperors who had not shown up until now also showed up and occupied positions with their powerful strength. Every day, big and small news kept spreading. The invincible palace in the mysterious heavenly world. It's done. It took a long time to refine the bloodline and improve the power of the bloodline. As the black-robed Lin Fei jumped up, the 18 primordial mist avatars cupped their hands. Thank you for your hard work. It's no trouble at all. Lin Fei waved his hand and the 18 avatars walked into his body. It's not easy. During the 50 years, Lin Fei almost didn't care about the outside world and focused on building his 18 primordial mist avatars. Fortunately, everything was done. His 18 primordial avatars had also advanced to the ultimate god realm. Their cultivation realm was barely at the mid-level ultimate god realm, and their bloodline power was also at the mid-level ultimate god realm. Lin Fei was very satisfied. As soon as Lin Fei came out of seclusion, all sorts of news entered his ears. The infernal realm had sent him messages several times, asking him when he would head to the blood-red pillar of light. Flipping through the information left behind, Lin Fei had a general idea that the godchild was about to be born. The 6 subordinate worlds, the immortal world, and some ancient families and forces had shown up to participate in the competition. A divine son with the potential of an emperor. Hee. Lin Fei did not care about this. However, the invincible palace needed a group of powerful geniuses. It seems that I also need to accept a few disciples. Lin Fei laughed at himself. He took a step forward and left the mysterious sky world, standing under the starry sky. With his peak ultimate god combat power, Lin Fei was not afraid of those veteran forces in the divine world. 108. All the major powers and hidden ancient clans have come out and occupied 2/3 of the blood-colored light pillars. I'm going to snatch food from the tiger's mouth. Lin Fei laughed mischievously and headed east. Under the endless starry sky, in a star filled with hurricanes. Various forces were fighting for control. This was a relatively dangerous place. The black hurricanes were powerful enough to injure ultimate gods. In the center of this star, there was a blood-colored light pillar. The entire star had turned into a restricted area. Outside the star, various tyrants were fighting. The number of divine suns was limited. Almost every place was occupied by the major forces. Everyone hoped to have a divine emperor under them to dominate an era. They would not miss such an opportunity. The 8 divine emperors occupied the most forces. Outside of them were the ancient clans with terrifying strength. Even the 8 divine emperors did not dare to disrespect them. After all, some of these clans had divine emperors in the past. The secret treasures left behind were not to be underestimated. Therefore, some of the blood-colored light pillars were divided among these clans. This hurricane star was one of them. There were a total of 8 clans fighting for this blood-colored light pillar. The 8 clans fought fiercely for the blood-colored light pillar. Violent energy waves swept through the area and hit the restricted area from time to time. In such an occasion, even ultimate gods could fall. The main battle relied on ultimate gods. Divine kings were only there to watch the show. At that moment, the battle between the 8 clans was at its most intense. The Fan clan and Ancient clan had the upper hand. Rumor had it that 10,000 years ago they had an invincible divine emperor who could compete with divine emperors. The Fan clan had been passed down to the present day. The current generation of the Fan clan was also filled with geniuses. On the surface, they had 2 divine emperor experts and controlled a huge domain. How dare a mere clan compare to our Fan clan? You're not worthy to have a divine child. The peak ultimate god of the Fan clan was a young man in a brocade robe. He broke through the sky with his sword and suppressed everyone. People kept dying under his sword. Young Emperor Fan, you're so arrogant. Do you dare to fight me? A giant handprint came crashing down. Lin Fei came all the way. There were experts flying across the starry sky. Some were alone, while others were in groups of 3 to 5. Their goal was the same, to fight for the divine child. In the endless starry sky, there were waves of energy fluctuations. It was obvious that there were peerless experts fighting. For the divine child, both the forces in name and those hidden behind the scenes have all come out. Lin Fei watched with great interest. Lin Fei had seen many experts along the way. There were more than 10 peak ultimate gods among them. It's up ahead. Lin Fei did not need any treasures. His speed was the fastest when he used the power of space. As he kept moving, a black star appeared in front of him. Hurricane Star. Many blood-colored light pillars were occupied. Lin Fei took a step back and chose some dangerous areas. The Hurricane Star was one of them. This news came from the divine Emperor Tianci. After knowing that Lin Fei had come out of seclusion, he mentioned the fight for the divine child and told Lin Fei where he could compete. What an intense fight! Lin Fei squinted his eyes and looked at the battle in the distance. Outside the star, a young man in a brocade robe was holding a sword in one hand. His peak ultimate god's combat strength was fully unleashed. His sword technique was unparalleled, and even the sky and earth changed color as he suppressed his opponent. Half-step divine emperor strength. Young Emperor Fan held his sword, and his sword technique was so sharp that the crowd could not breathe. Get out of the way if you don't want to die, young Emperor Fan said disdainfully as his eyes swept across the crowd that was sent flying. Use divine emperor treasures to attack. Someone took out a divine pagoda. It was a divine emperor treasure. The pressure of a divine emperor crushed toward young Emperor Fan, causing the starry sky to tremble. How dare you use a low-rank divine emperor treasure? Chapter 1925. The Divine Emperor Sword. Someone recognized it and was shocked. Rumor had it that the Fan clan's 2 divine emperors were extremely powerful. The Divine Emperor sword was a treasure passed down in the Fan clan. Everyone thought it was just a rumor. It had been a long time since the divine world had a divine emperor in person. It's too late. Fan Xiaohuang swung his sword, and a dozen low-level ultimate gods died. Blood rained down. Fan Xiaohuang, who held the divine emperor sword, destroyed the divine emperor treasures one after another, leaving corpses behind. The experts from the other clans fled in panic. Trash that can't even withstand a single blow. In a short while, Fan Xiaohuang suppressed all his opponents, leaving only the Fan clan experts. Sir, have you seen enough? Fan Xiaohuang's eyes shot out two sword rays. They shot towards the void. The strength of a half-step divine emperor. This is an eye-opener. A black hole appeared in front of Lin Fei, swallowing the two sword rays, and appeared under the starry sky. Fan Xiaohuang's eyes were like torches, and his killing intent surged. Scram if you don't want to die. The Fan clan has their eyes on this place. 7 clans joined forces, but they were defeated by Fan Xiaohuang. Some died and some were injured. Naturally, a peak ultimate god was beneath them. Hee, your words don't work on me. I have my eyes on this place. Lin Fei said indifferently, you have no choice but to scram. Die. Fan Xiaohuang's eyes flashed, and he swung his sword. The might of a divine emperor came crashing down. Lin Fei didn't care about the clans, even if they were ancient ones. River of Time. The turbulent river of time swept across the sky, and it smashed into the sword rays, shattering them. The power of time suppressed the starry sky. Everyone in the Fan clan felt suppressed by the power of time. No wonder you're so arrogant. You're a time controller. Fan Xiaohuang snorted. So what if you're a time controller? I'll kill you all the same. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Great life-taking sword technique. The sword technique shattered the power of time. It was a divine emperor sword technique. The ruthless sword rays rushed over. No wonder you were able to suppress and kill them. Your swordsmanship is unparalleled and quite extraordinary. Lin Fei laughed. A black hole opened up and devoured all the sword light. His spatial power had also improved after he advanced to the peak ultimate god realm. A peak ultimate god's spatial power could block any attack. You are Dition from the profound sky world. Fan Xiaohuang's God Emperor grade sword art was easily blocked by the other party, and a figure appeared in his mind. Now that you know my name, do you still plan to kill me? Lin Fei stepped forward. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The power of space and time surged forth. Other than Fan Xiaohuang, everyone else's battle prowess was suppressed, and they were unable to move. The time power of a high-level ultimate god was enough to prevent a high-level ultimate god from displaying his full strength, let alone when his bloodline power had advanced to the peak ultimate god level. 50 years was enough for Lin Fei's name to spread throughout the god realm. Revered god-long rainbows raid on the Moan world resulted in the loss of more than 400 hierarchs. The entire divine world was in an uproar. Revered god-long rainbow was also punished for his incompetence. Lin Fei's fearsomeness had also spread throughout the divine world. Long Rainbow lost to you, but I'm not Long Rainbow. Fan Xiaohuang laughed. I believe the 8 divine emperors will look good after I kill you. Boom! Boom! Fan Xiaohuang's aura surged as his body expanded like a giant. He charged forward with the power of time and space exploding as he slashed with his sword. I forgot to tell you, I've cultivated the Great Destruction Physique, one of the 24 Emperor Physiques. It can break through any bloodline power. Fan Xiaohuang was very terrifying at that moment. Divine Emperor grade sword art. Great Destruction Physique. No wonder Brother Tianci and the others warned me to be careful. This inherited aristocratic family is indeed terrifying. A half-step divine emperor can crush all peak ultimate gods. Lin Fei had reminded him before he came. He knew how powerful the Fan clan was the moment they fought. With such strength, it was not impossible for them to occupy a blood-colored light pillar. Lin Fei's power of space and time could crush peak ultimate gods. After all, he was at the ultimate god level, and his bloodline power was suppressed by the great destruction physique of an emperor physique. Time destruction. Lin Fei attacked with a great secret technique. Boom! The terrifying energy crushed over and sent Fan Xiaohuang flying. He crashed into the star forbidden zone and shattered a large hurricane. This is the rumored great time secret technique. Fan Xiaohuang stood up and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. Unfortunately, it has no effect on an emperor physique like me. Lin Fei was slightly surprised and laughed as he went forward. Your emperor physique has not reached the great completion realm. Let's see how many times you can block. The power of space and time swept over. The moment it was about to reach Fan Xiaohuang, it turned into a great terror and crushed Fan Xiaohuang. With the support of a large amount of divine power, Lin Fei used the great secret technique. Even an emperor physique would suffer. Boom! 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 Wave after wave of horrifying attacks crushed over. Apart from Fan Xiaohuang, the hundreds of experts from the Fan clan were heavily injured, and almost all of them were wiped out. Fan Xiaohuang's eyes were red. Those experts were his people. This loss had greatly affected his influence in the clan. How could he not be angry? Divine Emperor triple slash. The three swords attacked like lightning and contained the might of a divine emperor. They shook the starry sky and enveloped Lin Fei. Lin Fei used the power of time and disappeared under the sword light. He appeared behind Fan Xiaohuang and stomped down. Fan Xiaohuang blocked with his sword, and the power of 10,000 caddies pressed down on his sword. Puff! Fan Xiaohuang's body sank. His blood and qi were in turmoil, aggravating his injuries. He spat out mouthfuls of blood and crashed into the forbidden zone. The river of time came again. The injured Fan Xiaohuang was enveloped by the power of time and was sent flying billions of miles away. He crashed into an uninhabited star. If you don't want to die, scram as far as you can. His voice was like thunder, echoing in the starry sky. Damn it! Fan Xiaohuang was strong, but he could not withstand the attack of the great secret technique. His emperor physique was also damaged. It was invaded by the power of time and was no longer perfect. Hua! The river of time came again. Fan Xiaohuang had no choice but to retreat, not daring to take it head-on. Lin Fei did not give chase. It was the first time he met someone with emperor physique. He realized that the other party was not ordinary. If not for his emperor physique being broken, he might not have been able to defeat him. Next time, I have to ask Big Brother Tianci and the others about this emperor physique. Lin Fei looked at the starry sky. A disciple of the Fan family is this strong. There are still many unknown and terrifying aristocratic families in the divine world. Lin Fei occupied this place. During this time, many godly venerable experts attacked, but they were all killed on the spot. As long as it was not an emperor physique, no one could withstand the attack of 2 waves of bloodline power. The only thing left was a pile of corpses. Lin Fei waited for 3 days. The divine child is about to appear. Lin Fei stood under the starry sky. Many godly venerables appeared in the dark, but they could not hide from his divine sense. However, they did not make a move. They seemed to be waiting for the moment the divine child appeared. As the blood-colored light pillar was filled with cracks, the divine child was about to appear. Ka ka ka. Chapter 1926. Boom, boom, boom. The entire world was illuminated by divine light. It was as dazzling as the blazing sun. Blood-colored pillars of light shattered as the divine children came into being one after another. What followed were many gazes. The sect masters and emperors of the clans and sects, Even the old Undyings crawled out to participate in the competition. A hidden sect master came across the sky and was shocked by the divine children. Amazing! The divine children are born with boundless divine power and innately invincible celestial immortal strength. Another sect master cried out in surprise. They have innately invincible celestial immortal strength and a terrifying bloodline and divine body. The glorious era of this generation is coming. The old Undyings who are cultivating in seclusion sighed with emotion. The divine children are terrifying. They are born with the Emperor's mandate. We are all old. In less than half a year, the world will belong to them. The competition for the divine children was exceptionally intense. The divine children who came into being were born with an innately invincible might and were supported by the heavenly Tao's might within billions of miles. All sorts of powerful heroes took action and fought until the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. Even though they were separated by several worlds, they could still feel the terrifying battle prowess of the old monsters. A casual attack could shatter stars. It was the same for Lin Fei. Damn, is this the invincible might? The 3 or 4-year-old children were adorable, but their invincible might suppress the starry sky. It was incomparably terrifying, and this was the true invincible might. No wonder the God King and the old Undyings took action. They are the best candidates to compete for the Celestial Emperor's mandate in the future. It's really infuriating to compare oneself to others. Lin Fei had the invincible system to reach his current position. But these divine children were born with invincible might, and the heavenly Taos will suppress the starry sky. Anyone who saw them would go crazy. Who could compare to this kind of treatment? Taking a divine child as a disciple, how satisfying! Lin Fei squinted his eyes. It was a great achievement, just thinking about it. Divine child, I want you. In the distant starry sky, a withered giant hand grabbed over, shattering the starry sky. At the same time, there was a terrifying might that broke through the heavenly Tao's will. This was a sect master-level expert attacking from afar. Divine Son, you dare to take it? Eat my saber first. In the air, a blade light slashed over, chopping off an arm. Blood rained down. Another undying expert made his move, chopping off his opponent's arm with a single blade. Lin Fei was really angry. You treat me as if I don't exist. Humph. The Divine Son belongs to me. How dare you take him? Boom! The domain of time appeared in the sky, supporting the sky. Boundless time energy flowed, completely suppressing this expanse of the starry sky. It was a secret technique of a peak ultimate god. In the domain, Lin Fei was a god, an invincible existence. As soon as the time domain was activated, it completely suppressed the starry sky. Lin Fei stepped forward and shattered the saber light with a punch. It was as if an invincible god of war had descended. The importance of the Divine Son still couldn't stop some people from taking action. A cry of alarm came from the depths of the starry sky. Someone has actually cultivated the time domain. This is an incredible secret technique. Suppressing an entire starry sky is not a problem. The younger generation is truly promising. There were still invincible experts who were unwilling to give up. Boom, boom, boom. Another 3 sect master experts made their move. Their combat powers surpassed peak ultimate gods and were already divine emperors. They rushed into the time domain and grabbed the Divine Son in the domain. Space domain! Lin Fei once again opened up an invincible domain. The 2 domains combined perfectly in an instant, bursting with terrifying power and suppressing the 3 terrifying palms. This is my territory. How dare you behave so atrociously? Get lost! Lin Fei shouted and slashed with the blade of the lightsaber, chopping off the 3 palms. Lin Fei had put in a lot of effort for this day. If he hadn't cultivated the time domain and space domain, Lin Fei wasn't confident that he could withstand the attacks of the sect master old Undying. his bloodline power couldn't suppress them either. After cutting off the 3 palms, Lin Fei came to the side of the Divine Sun. "You and I are fated. Are you willing to be my disciple?" The Divine Sun said proudly, "I am the Divine Sun, heavenly axiom. I will sweep through the world and become a supreme emperor. I don't need a master." Lin Fei stretched out his hand, shattering the invincible pressure. He then slapped the godchild's butt. "You're still trying to rebel? You're so awesome that you can sweep through the world. I'll take care of you first. Are you willing to be my disciple?" With this slap, the Divine Sun began to weep. "You big bad guy." Lin Fei slapped him a dozen times in a row. The 3 or 4-year-old Divine Sun cried and agreed to be his disciple. Everything happened in an extremely short time. The sect master, old, undying in the starry sky, was very unwilling. How could a Divine Sun be snatched away by an ultimate god, even if he was a high-level ultimate god? More than a dozen tyrannical attacks blasted from all directions, trying to shatter the 2 domains. Boom! Boom! Before their attacks could arrive, the heavenly axiom sent down divine lightning and shattered the attacks. The divine lightning struck again and fell into the depths of the starry sky. Waves of tyrannical aura dissipated one after another. Lin Fei heaved a sigh of relief. If the 2 domains were really shattered, he could only run away with the Divine Sun and shake off the old, undying sect master. One day, this Divine Sun will defeat you. The heavenly axiom glared and said arrogantly. Lin Fei grabbed the heavenly axiom again and slapped him. The battle for the Divine Sun was unusually fierce. Soon, news spread that Divine Emperor Zheng Yi had personally come and suppressed all the experts. He took away 3 Divine Suns, all of whom were invincible and had monstrous bloodlines. After that, Divine Emperor Emo Xian also fought with experts from all sides, and even some old, undying beings. He also took away 4 Divine Suns and returned to the demon mystic sect. 108 Divine Suns with different talents were quickly snatched away by the various forces. Almost every top force had 1 or 2 Divine Suns, or at least 1 Divine Sun. There were even ancient existences who took action. The 8 Divine Emperors had no choice but to avoid them. They took the Divine Suns back to the sect and didn't participate in the battle. In just one day, blood flowed like a river in order to fight for the Divine Sun. Lin Fei was very satisfied with snatching a Divine Sun. With his peak ultimate god combat power, he wouldn't have been able to snatch a Divine Sun if he didn't take advantage of the 2 domains. Once the Divine Sun was in his hands, Lin Fei activated the spatial door and returned to the Invincible Palace. Lin Fei brought back a Divine Sun. The Invincible Palace was filled with cheers. Everyone was familiar with the legends of the Divine Suns. After seeing them for real, they realized how terrifying the Divine Suns were. They were born with invincible might. Although their realms weren't high, they could still fight against divine kings. Lin Fei's wives all ran over to watch. When they saw the pink Divine Sun, they all liked him very much. They hugged him, but the heavenly axiom Divine Sun showed a look of enjoyment. He lay on the beautiful woman's body and rolled his eyes. For a moment, Lin Fei wanted to pull him down and slap him a few times. Master's wife, you're so beautiful." The beautiful women didn't care. Chapter 1927. The intense fight for the God Sun had come to an end. To many people, the ancient forces that had been hiding in the dark had surfaced in the fight for the divine princes. Experts like the sect masters and sect masters seemed ordinary. The old undying that made one's hair stand on end had the power to suppress the current god emperors. No god emperor dared to underestimate him. The previously unknown powers all appeared. Their terrifying legacies terrified everyone. They weren't any weaker than the 8 god emperors. In fact, they were even stronger. Taking the heavenly law god Sun as his disciple, Lin Fei didn't have much to teach. The god sons were born with legacies, and they cultivated god emperor techniques. Their invincible bloodlines gave them shocking combat strength. As Lin Fei's master, he was also astonished when he saw it. For now, Lin Fei was still suppressing his disciple, the heavenly law. During this period, Lin Fei made a trip to Hell World to meet his 3 senior brothers. Congratulations, senior brother. You've taken in 2 godsons. Congratulations. In the main hall of Hell Mountain, Lin Fei congratulated his 3 senior brothers. It wasn't easy for them to snatch 2 divine princes in the midst of a battle. The Massacre God Emperor, the Tianci God Emperor, and the 100 Flowers God Emperor were all delighted. They were satisfied to have 2 godsons as their disciples. Junior brother isn't bad either. You fought against the old Undying alone and took in a disciple. If it was me, I might not have succeeded either. The Tianci God Emperor smiled. I didn't expect you to cultivate 2 bloodline domains in just a few decades. In the eyes of those old Undyings in the God world, Junior brother is quite important. Lin Fei smiled. It's all thanks to senior brother's reminder. The Tianci God Emperor was the one who informed him about the uninhabited star. You are my junior brother, so of course you will help. Come, let's drink. The Tianci God Emperor raised his wine cup. Everyone else raised their cups too. You want to know about the God Emperor? After drinking the fine wine, Lin Fei asked about some of the questions in his heart. The 100 Flowers Divine Emperor chuckled. Little junior brother, you must have noticed that the forces that have surged out in the dark to fight for the Divine Sun are paying attention to the Divine Emperor, right? Lin Fei nodded. Yes, it is indeed a shock. Some old Undying experts have terrifying auras. If it wasn't for the competition for the Divine Sun, I'm afraid I wouldn't have known that there are such old, undying existences. God Emperor Tianci smiled. Junior brother is still young, so it's normal that you don't know. What you usually see is only the surface. The reason why the 8 great God Emperors are unable to rule the divine world is because of the existence of ancient powers. In fact, there are even some sects that have produced God Emperors in the past and have terrifying resources. There are also some invincible God Emperors who have bloodlines and treasures that can easily kill God Emperors. Lin Fei really didn't know much about these secrets. The deeper layer of the secret. Little junior brother, your strength has improved very quickly, and you are about to reach the Divine Emperor realm. Let me tell you about the Divine Emperor. God Emperor Tianci smiled. The Divine Emperor realm is just a general term. Anyone who has reached the Divine Emperor realm is a Divine Emperor expert. In fact, it is divided into 6 small realms, namely Young Divine Emperor, Earth Divine Emperor, Heaven Divine Emperor, Saint Divine Emperor, Heaven Creating Divine Emperor, and Apotheosized Divine Emperor. Lin Fei was not surprised at all. The old Undying expert who attacked that day was definitely a Divine Emperor expert, and the difference in strength was huge. Then, how do we divide the Divine Emperors? God Emperor Tianci was very optimistic about Lin Fei. To be able to snatch a divine son from the hands of the old Undying expert was a kind of help to any sect. The secret of the Divine Emperors was actually not a secret, and God Emperor Tianci didn't mind telling Lin Fei. Dividing the small realms is actually very simple. God Emperor Tianci's eyes narrowed, and his chi and blood surged. Golden divine wheels appeared behind him, and there were a total of 6 divine wheels. They were like blazing suns, suppressing the starry sky. It depends on the theory of gods. Lin Fei instantly felt a great deal of pressure. This was the first time he knew the secret of the Divine Emperors. 3 divine wheels is the Little Divine Emperor. 6 divine wheels is the Great Divine Emperor, and 9 divine wheels is the Heavenly Divine Emperor. 100 Flowers Divine Emperor said with a smile. After 9 divine wheels, the Divine Transformation Palace can suppress everything in the world, and they are the Holy Divine Emperors. 6 divine palaces are the Heaven Creation Divine Emperors, and 9 divine palaces are the deification divine emperors. Lin Fei finally understood. God Emperor Tianzi continued, "Among the 3 of us, Senior Brother Slaughter is the strongest. He has condensed 8 divine wheels, and he is only 1 away from becoming the heavenly divine emperor. As for me and 100 Flowers, we both have 6 divine wheels. Junior Brother, if you fight against the divine emperor that day, you must be careful of the divine emperor activating his divine wheel." God Emperor Tianzi continued, "The divine will contains terrifying power." Lin Fei listened very carefully. The more he knew about the divine emperors, the more careful he would be when fighting in the future. "I have said all that needs to be said. You just need to be careful in the future." God Emperor Tianzi said a lot of words, all about the divine emperors. "Thank you for the reminder, Senior Brother. I will keep it in mind." Lin Fei nodded. "By the way, you are now a peak ultimate god. When will you break through to the divine emperor realm?" God Emperor Slaughter, who rarely spoke, suddenly asked, "Break through to the divine emperor realm?" Lin Fei really did not know when he would be able to break through. It was easy to get an ultimate god divine core. But what about a divine emperor divine core? That was not going to be easy. Lin Fei smiled bitterly. "I don't know yet." He could not say that he lacked a divine emperor divine core, and they might not have it either. Lin Fei was very clear about this. "If you are not in a hurry, you can wait a little longer." God Emperor Slaughter said. Lin Fei reacted, "Senior Brother, my cultivation technique is very unique. Could it be that I have a chance to break through?" Although he could not say it directly, he could only use an alternative cultivation technique. God Emperor Tianzi looked at God Emperor Slaughter and seemed to think of something. "Senior Brother, are you talking about that place? If it is really that place, maybe there is a way to break through to the divine emperor realm." Lin Fei was confused. "That place? What kind of place is that?" Seeing Lin Fei's anxious expression, God Emperor 100 Blossoms chuckled. "Junior Brother, your luck is good. In another 60 years, the Mount Heavenly Worthy Secret Region will open." Lin Fei knew about the Mount Heavenly Worthy Secret Region. It was one of the 6 subworlds and had 2 divine emperors. "There is such a place." God Emperor Tianzi explained with a smile. "That's why I said your luck is good. The Mount Heavenly Worthy Secret Region in the Mount Heavenly Worthy Secret Region has attracted the attention of countless forces. If it weren't for the Broken Heaven Pillar, you wouldn't have such good luck. This secret region can allow one to break through to the divine emperor realm. The Mount Heavenly Worthy Secret Region was created in ancient times. No one knows who created it. The only thing we know is that every time the Mount Heavenly Worthy Secret Region opens, a great opportunity will appear. At the same time, it is also the place for ultimate God experts to break through to the divine emperor realm. In the past, the Mount Heavenly Worthy Secret Region could not be opened. Now that the 6 subworlds have opened, divine emperors can come and go as they please. Chapter 1928. After the battle for the divine princes, the 6 subworlds and the divine realm entered a period of peace. The divine realm's army didn't move again. They seemed to have gone to rest. Some ancient sects and forces reappeared. The divine realm, which was originally controlled by the 8 divine emperors, also changed. The most surprising thing was that young experts kept appearing. They defeated the heroes of the world with their peak divine, venerable battle strength. Each of them was a god's chosen and left a great reputation. Any of the gods chosen was worthy of the attention of the sections. They suppressed their peak divine, venerable battle strength and were no weaker than divine emperors. They looked down on the world and were insufferably arrogant. Before the divine princes grew up, the gods chosen attracted the attention of countless people. 20 years later, the divine princes appeared one after another. Any of the divine princes was powerful enough to suppress the heroes of the world. As soon as they appeared, they challenged the heroes of the world, shocking the world. Surprisingly, the divine emperors didn't take action, so the world became the divine prince's world. The unknown sects also became known with the appearance of the 108 divine princes. Someone made a list with the combat strength of the 108 divine princes. It was called the Divine List. Everyone was shocked when the list came out. Every once in a while, the divine princes would challenge the heroes of the world and defeat some powerful existences. 30 years later, the 108 divine princes all had the combat strength of an ultimate god. The world also became the divine prince's world. The young geniuses were overshadowed and lived in the shadow of the divine princes. It couldn't be helped. The combat strength of any of the divine princes was shocking enough. Their invincible aura alone could suppress an enemy. A big shot said, "This is the ultimate god level. When they reach the divine emperor level, the world will change color. No one will be their match." A sect master sighed, "The divine princes are amazing. We're all old." During this period, there were also geniuses of the previous generation. For example, there were many talented ultimate gods in the divine realm. They were extremely powerful and could fight divine emperors head-on. They only needed an opportunity to enter the divine emperor level. There were many such peerless geniuses. There were even rumors in private. It's not that the heaven-defying geniuses can't enter the divine emperor level, but they're accumulating power. If they want to enter the divine emperor level, they have to surpass the ordinary divine emperors. Countless people were driven mad by the news. They had cultivated to the godly venerable realm and were exhausted like dead dogs. For powerful demons, they had to suppress their strength. It was simply infuriating to compare themselves with others. While outsiders were shocked, the Son of God had become the mainstream of this era. Another piece of news spread. The Empyrean mountain of the heaven-splitting world would open in 30 years. Everyone was in an uproar. Ordinary forces might not know about it, but the ancient sects, especially the top forces, all had records of the celestial worthy mountain. The world had almost forgotten about this place. The world of splitting open the sky immediately attracted the attention of countless people. While the outside world was bustling with noise, deep within the invincible palace, Lin Fei was still in seclusion. Back when he returned from the infernal realm, he handed over his disciple, Tiandao, to his subordinates, and then announced that he would be going into seclusion. There are still about 30 years left. I can still continue cultivating. In the secret chamber, the 18 primordial world avatars sat together in a circle. After opening his eyes, Lin Fei closed them again. 60 years. In the blink of an eye. For some experts, it was just a small period of seclusion, near the Empyrean mountain of the heaven-splitting world. The fog gradually dissipated. The door was faintly discernible. Everyone knew that the rumors were true. The mysterious Empyrean mountain was about to open. The 6 subworlds, the big and small forces of the divine world swarmed into the heaven-splitting world. The sects and legacies were also stationed near the Empyrean mountain, occupying a large area. Within a few months, the Empyrean mountain had a radius of 1 billion miles. Ka. Invincible palace. The tightly shut stone door opened. A silhouette appeared outside the stone door. Gentle sunlight shone down on the silhouette. Time flies. Lin Fei finally came out of seclusion before the Empyrean mountain was about to open. After coming out of seclusion, Lin Fei understood some of the situation. Hearing that his disciple, Tiandao, had made quite a name for himself outside, Lin Fei was very happy. Ever since he went into seclusion, he rarely came out. Lin Fei was not worried about his disciple, Tiandao. He was born with the will of heaven and earth. He was extraordinary and did not need to worry too much. In fact, Lin Fei was least worried about Tiandao. The only thing that made Tiandao unhappy was that his daughter and Tiandao had become 2 demons. They often caused trouble outside and made the mysterious sky world restless. No one dared to say anything. Everyone knew that Tian was the #1 expert in the mysterious sky world. The news of him stopping the divine world army spread. Everyone was shocked. Ever since Tiandao became stronger, the two slipped away to other worlds. Lin Fei had no choice but to let them go. It was not a problem for him to protect himself. Lin Fei spent a year leisurely in the Invincible Palace. He rode on Hairball, the ancient evil dragon, and went straight to the heaven-splitting world. The ancient evil dragon had achieved small success. Its combat power was terrifying. It could fight a god emperor. Unfortunately, it had not entered the divine beast realm. This time, Lin Fei brought Hairball to try his luck. It would be great if he could advance to the divine beast realm. Hairball's supernatural power had also reached the profound success realm. It was not inferior to her master, Lin Fei. She could move in the starry sky to the limit. Even peak ultimate gods could not catch a trace of her. Although the heaven-splitting world was far away, Lin Fei had Hairball, the spatial beast, and entered the heaven-splitting world in less than half a month. As soon as he entered the heaven-splitting world, he was hit by a strong immortal aura. The vast life aura spread throughout the entire heaven-splitting world. It was much stronger than the mysterious sky world. Head east. Since a few years ago, the celestial Worthy Mountains portal appeared. All the major sects and forces settled down. In less than a few years, the area outside the celestial Worthy Mountain became lively. The innermost area was occupied by the major forces. Any of the major forces could easily destroy the first-rate sections. Therefore, the area outside the celestial Worthy Mountain was divided into 3 areas. The area closest to the celestial Worthy Mountain belonged to the ancient forces and the top forces. The second area belonged to the first-rate sects and forces. The third area belonged to the second-rate sects and forces. There was once an unconvinced expert who tried to occupy a treasured land to gain the upper hand. However, he was killed on the spot by a powerful existence, and his sect was destroyed. No one dared to act presumptuously outside the celestial Worthy Mountain after that. It's so lively. Tens of trillions of miles away from the celestial Worthy Mountain, a crowd surged toward the celestial Worthy Mountain. The ancient and tyrannical auras were like fierce beasts, extremely eye-catching. Lin Fei sighed softly. The celestial Worthy Mountain was more lively than he imagined. He did not use his divine senses to check, but directly used the system. There were hundreds of divine emperor experts. Chapter 1929. Outside the celestial Worthy Mountain, the undulating mountains were surrounded by celestial aura. Lin Fei landed far away from the celestial Worthy Mountain. In a few years, this place had evolved into a small town. Immortals came and went everywhere, and it was very lively. Those who didn't know better would think that this place was a small town. Lin Fei walked in the small town with Hairball. Heroes gathered, and godly venerables, who were rarely seen, kept appearing. "Master, can I eat them?" Hairball, who was born as a primordial evil dragon, had a growing appetite. In her eyes, these were delicious blood qi, and eating it was a great supplement. Ever since she followed Lin Fei, Hairball had eaten countless pieces of flesh and blood, and her standards were also higher. The godly kings and godly venerables that wandered around were quite delicious. Lin Fei patted Hairball. "There's no hurry. There will be plenty of opportunities." In order to cultivate a divine beast, Lin Fei didn't care how many people he killed. As long as they provoked him, he could only blame them for being unlucky. Selling the divine emperor's bone at a low price. There won't be many opportunities. This is the only one. With it, you will have something no less valuable than a divine emperor's treasure. Someone shouted, "Life-stealing heaven powder. A peerless item that can heal injuries at a critical moment. A must-have item to enter the celestial Worthy Mountain. The divine emperor's secret technique is invincible. Now I can only exchange it for treasures." The town wasn't big. There were shouts everywhere. All kinds of treasures attracted the attention of countless people. Lin Fei casually looked around and found that some of the items were of good quality. No wonder they were sold here. No matter how good the items were, Lin Fei wasn't interested. The only thing that was useful to him now was the divine meridians. The more, the better. Lin Fei had also heard that there were rare, sacred, rank, divine veins in the heavenly Venerate mountain. Just one of them was superior to a heaven, rank, divine vein. Any sect that obtained one of them would be able to pass on their legacy for millions of years. As he wasn't in a hurry, Lin Fei casually looked around as he walked. Quick, go and see. Someone is on the stage. No way. Someone is on the stage again. Do you know who it is? Why are you asking so many questions? We'll know once we get there. Someone shouted, and the people who were originally strolling around rushed to the fighting ring without saying anything. Dueling ring? Lin Fei's interest was piqued, and he followed them unhurriedly. By the time Lin Fei caught up, he was already at the foot of a mountain. A large number of people had gathered there. In the distance, a mountain peak was sliced in half. Looking at the world, it had a long history. The platform was filled with an ancient aura. Lin Fei squinted his eyes and looked at the huge platform. Is this the fighting stage? It's really extraordinary. The surroundings of the Do Tai were densely packed with mysterious blessings. Lin Fei could not see it too clearly. If anyone underestimated the battle stage, they would definitely suffer a great loss, a truly great loss. At this moment, there were people on the dueling platform. Lin Fei subconsciously took a look and smiled. He actually met an acquaintance in this place. Too fast! Another round has been cleared. This is already the 60th level. As expected of someone who has mastered speed. Unlimited speed is really amazing, someone exclaimed. On the fighting stage, a young man in green clothes with a steady body left by time could be seen. He held a sword in one hand, and the sword flashed past like a flash of light, sending the bronze figures flying one by one. None of the bronze figures could get close to him. Almost everyone present could not see how the person on the platform made his move. His speed was beyond what they could handle. Everyone was convinced by what they saw. It's the 70th level, another person exclaimed while staring at the fighting stage. On the arena, there were a total of over 100 coppermen, and they formed a shocking killing formation that surged with killing intent. If it wasn't for the countless layers of restrictions separating them, no one would be able to endure the pressure of such an imposing aura. He's really a genius. He managed to reach peak ultimate god in 60 years. His unlimited speed is probably even more terrifying. I'm afraid not many people in this realm can catch his trace. Lin Fei did not expect to meet Dongfang Yijian here. In this world, only Dongfang Yijian, who had mastered unlimited speed, could reach such a level of speed. Dongfang Yijian's speed was so amazing that Lin Fei could also see his traces of movement. Level 70. Under the siege of the killing formation, Dongfang Yijian was blasted out. A few big words appeared in the sky above the fighting stage. Then a Jingguang flashed and landed on Dongfang Yijian's hand, emitting a terrifying power. Level 70. Amazing. No wonder he's the #1 genius in the underworld. Who can stop this kind of speed? That's not necessarily true. Dongfang Yijian isn't the only one who has mastered speed. I heard there's a divine son on the divine list who was born with a divine body and also mastered speed. That's terrifying. Lin Fei stood for a while and understood what the fighting stage was about. The fighting stage was usually hidden in the void. Even a divine emperor could not find it. It would only appear in the 10 years when the celestial Worthy Mountain's door was about to open. The fighting stage was not used for fighting. It was a challenge. One would be able to obtain treasures after challenging 10 levels. Of course, the treasures were random. To obtain good treasures, one could only rely on luck. Legend had it that an invincible divine emperor had a great opportunity and obtained a shocking treasure on the fighting stage. This caused his strength to increase by leaps and bounds. In the end, he became an invincible divine emperor. Therefore, every time the celestial worthy mountain opened, the fighting stage would become a place where countless geniuses gathered. The fighting stage also had a rule. Only those below the divine emperor level were allowed to enter. There was once a divine emperor who suppressed his strength in an attempt to obtain a treasure, but he was killed on the spot by the bronze man. Lin Fei observed the fighting stage and barely understood some things. Fellow Taoist Di Tian, long time no see. While Lin Fei was silently watching, someone came over. Hearing the familiar voice, Lin Fei turned around. Fellow Taoist Dongfang, congratulations on breaking through to another level with your unlimited speed. The person who came over was Dongfang Yijian. Dongfang Yijian was very sensitive to auras. When Lin Fei stood outside, he knew who had come. After the fight ended, he personally came over. After 60 years, Dongfang Yijian was much calmer than before. However, he was still arrogant. Mastering that unlimited speed to give him the right to be arrogant. Dongfang Yijian did not come alone. There were 2 young men with him. They were dressed in brocade clothes and had an extraordinary aura. They should be from a powerful sect. Dongfang Yijian had been cultivating wholeheartedly after the war ended. It was only 40 years ago that he went out to train. Due to a series of coincidences, he had advanced to peak ultimate god. You're not bad either. Dongfang Yijian smiled. Meeting by chance is better than meeting by chance. Why don't we have a drink? Sure. Lin Fei had nothing to do. Chapter 1930. Not only were there people selling treasures in the town, but there were also inns and restaurants. Needless to say, they were quite smart. Dongfang Yijian found a decent restaurant and ordered a table full of good dishes. Who wouldn't bring some celestial wine when they went out? The dishes were served quickly. Dongfang Yijian also took out the celestial wine and poured a cup of it for Lin Fei. Don't just stand there. Didn't you say that you wanted to meet Di Tian? This is the real Di Tian. Dongfang Yijian said with a smile. The 2 young men were shocked. They came from another subworld. They had heard of Di Tian's name. Previously, they didn't listen carefully. Now that Dongfang Yijian mentioned it, they suddenly realized that it was this awesome and fierce person. After the battle in the Moan world, Lin Fei's fierce name spread across the 6 subworlds. News of what happened in the celestial world also spread. However, in the past few decades, Lin Fei had been in seclusion, and his fierce name gradually faded. My friend Di Tian, you are my idol. Brother, let's have a drink. Lin Fei had a good impression of the 2. Since they gave him face, he drank with them. After a few cups of celestial wine, everyone's relationship was suddenly pulled closer. Lin Fei also learned a lot from Dongfang Yijian, especially about the celestial worthy mountain. This was because Dongfang Yijian had come a few years ago. The celestial worthy mountain became more and more mysterious in Lin Fei's eyes. If there are no accidents, the opening of the celestial worthy mountain will not take more than a year. A powerful person has calculated the opening date. Dongfang Yijian said in a low voice, My friend, you have to be prepared. I heard that almost all the experts on the divine list are here, especially the number 1 god, Sky Dragon. Zhuge Feng said in a low voice, I heard that Sky Dragon entered one of the 10 forbidden areas and obtained a great opportunity. His strength improved greatly. All the gods have great luck. It's really infuriating to compare oneself with others. The other Huang Qiu smiled bitterly and said, It's extremely difficult for us to encounter fortuitous encounters. Look at them, they can encounter fortuitous encounters wherever they go. Lin Fei had also learned about the top expert on the divine list. He was a true inheritor of great destiny and had extremely terrifying strength. Although he was only a peak ultimate god, his combat power could suppress a divine emperor. This was already extremely terrifying. In the peak ultimate god realm, he could sweep away the experts of the same generation and was known as the invincible ultimate god. The word invincible was not something anyone could achieve. Sky Dragon dared to call himself the invincible ultimate god because he was very confident in his abilities. Tion, the celestial worthy mountain, is about to open. Do you want to go in with us? At least we'll have a companion in the secret realm. Dongfang Yijian put down his wineglass and invited Tion. No one understood Tion's importance better than Dongfang Yijian. In 60 years, Dongfang Yijian believed that Tion's control over his time and space bloodlines would become even more terrifying. A place like the celestial worthy mountain really needed such a powerful helper. Lin Fei's understanding of the celestial worthy mountain was only so. The origin of the mountain was mysterious and no one could explain it clearly. Most importantly, the opening of the celestial worthy mountain was a gathering of experts, including the gifted divine sons. It seemed like a good idea to form a team. Lin Fei nodded in agreement after thinking for a while. If you don't mind, I'd be happy to join. How could Dongfang Yijian mind? He valued Tion very much. That's great. With you joining us, we'll definitely gain a lot from this trip to the celestial worthy mountain. You're talking big. What kind of place is the celestial worthy mountain? It's not something people from the forsaken land of the gods can achieve. Suddenly, a sarcastic voice came from behind. At that moment, a young man in golden armor walked up the stairs with a group of people surrounding him. His eyes were like twinkling stars. Who's talking nonsense? Several groups of people in the restaurant stood up and glared at him angrily. Ever since the sky pillar was broken, communication between the realms was restored. In the eyes of the divine realm, the 6 sub-realms had become the people of the forsaken land of the gods. Therefore, the people of the 6 sub-realms hated hearing the words forsaken land of the gods. They stood up, but were quickly pulled down by their table mates. Shut up, stop talking. That's young Master Xing Qin we're talking about, someone whispered. Young Master Xing Qin kills without batting an eyelid. He's known as the Ferocious Man. Anyone who offends him will die. In the face of such power, the people in the restaurant chose to lower their heads. Young Master Xing Qin came from an ancient and mysterious force. Rumor had it that he was on good terms with the 8 great divine emperors. His strength was so terrifying that he could defeat godly venerable experts. Young Master Xing Qin, didn't anyone tell you that your mouth stinks? Dongfang Yijian stood up with a swoosh. His eyes flashed as he stared at young Master Xing Qin. Young Master Xing Qin was as handsome as the stars. He would be considered a handsome man in the divine realm. He opened his fan. The people of the forsaken land of the gods really have no manners. Isn't that right, everyone? Young Master Xing Qin is absolutely right. This kind of outdated person should be sealed away again. Since when can the people of the forsaken land of the gods strut around? The people behind him laughed in agreement. They would not miss this kind of flattery. Dongfang, we're just drinking. There's no need to quarrel with a dog. Suddenly, a faint voice reached their ears. Dongfang Yijian did not like the words forsaken land of the gods. That was why he stood up after being provoked by young Master Xing Qin. Normally, he would not have been provoked. You're right. There's nothing to talk about with a dog. Dongfang Yijian sat back down with a faint smile. Kid, you talk big. Get on your knees and kowtow in apology. One of young Master Xing Qin's subordinates shouted angrily when he realized that his chance had come. Get on your knees and apologize to young Master Xing Qin. Otherwise, I'll slaughter your entire clan. Young Master Xing Qin's expression did not change. A murderous glint flashed in his eyes. As a heaven's favored one who could defeat ultimate gods, when had he ever been called a dog? Lin Fei sipped his divine brew leisurely and did not even look at him. Slaughter my entire clan? What a big tone. I'm sitting right here. Kill me if you dare. As one of the 6 subworlds, Lin Fei could empathize with them. The Forsaken Land of the Gods was not a pleasant name. It was a humiliation. As a member, Lin Fei had to do something. "Kid, you're tired of living. I'll kill you." One of young Master Xing Chen's lackeys shouted. His hand shook the heavens and earth as he grabbed at Lin Fei, intending to crush him to death. Many people were shocked when they saw this. Even a lackey had the combat strength of a high-level ultimate god. Scram! Chapter 1931. That slash came in a strange and unpredictable manner and killed a high-level ultimate god on the spot without leaving any traces behind. The restaurant suddenly fell silent. No one could tell that the ordinary black-robed man was a terrifying expert who could kill a high-level ultimate god with a single move. Stars twirled in young Master Xing Chen's eyes as if he could see through everything. A sharp light flashed across his eyes. Even he could not figure out the origin of the untraceable attack. Space-time power. Young Master Xing Chen's terrifying eyes saw through some clues. Such a strange attack could only be done by someone with spatial bloodline. The black-robed man in front of him was most likely a space-time controller. "You're right. Too bad there's no reward." Lin Fei said indifferently. "Get as far away as you can if you don't want to die. Don't test my patience here, or I'll kill all of you." Lin Fei's mastery of the space-time power had improved over the past 60 years. It was the most common thing for him to unleash a saber-light attack. Such an untraceable attack was the most terrifying. Young Master Xingqian was also born with a powerful bloodline. He would not be intimidated by Jian Wushuang's words. His face turned cold. "You're very arrogant to kill my man in front of me." Lin Fei smiled. "So what if I'm arrogant? Only you're allowed to be arrogant, and I'm not. What kind of logic is this? Try me if you're not convinced." Zhuge Feng and Huang Qiu, who were sitting next to him, were full of admiration. Young Master Xingqian was a genius with a mysterious background. They knew they could not be arrogant in front of Jian Wushuang. They also could not kill a high-level ultimate god so easily. The people from the Forsaken Land of the Gods in the restaurant felt proud and elated. "So what if you're young Master Xingqian? Try me if you're capable." Who could say such arrogant words? They were full of admiration for the black-robed man in an instant. "Young Master Xingqian, you have a powerful background. I, Dongfang Yijian, am not someone to be trifled with." Dongfang Yijian followed up. "I heard that you've cultivated to the domain stage. I really want to see if your domain stage is stronger, or if my infinite speed is stronger." In the depths of young Master Xingqian's eyes, stars flickered unceasingly, and his gloomy face gradually dissipated. "Dongfang Yijian, this young master will remember your words. I believe that it won't be long before this young master will personally experience your infinite speed. And you, enjoy your final moments." Young Master Xingqian turned and left. The restaurant fell silent. Young Master Xingqian left? It was inconceivable that he could swallow his anger after killing a subordinate in front of him. This guy must have gone back to investigate my background. Lin Fei poured himself a cup of celestial wine. At least he knows when to advance and when to retreat. If Gue really dares to make a move, I don't mind beheading this brat on the spot. With a smile, he could decide a person's life and death. Zhuge Feng and Huang Qiu did not doubt his words at all. They had never believed it so much. Dongfang Yijian looked at Lin Fei and said with a smile, 60 years have passed, but you haven't changed at all. You killed without hesitation and without hesitation. Young Master Xingqian should be glad that he didn't make a move. Lin Fei did not care about young Master Xingqian's background. "Actually, I hate fighting and killing the most. In a place billions of miles away from Mount Celestial Worthy, on an undulating mountain range, there were many mountain peaks. Dongfang Yijian occupied a mountain peak. It was not easy to occupy a mountain peak in such a place. During this period, you can stay at my place. Dongfang Yijian brought Lin Fei into Senfu and arranged a house for him. Although it's a small place, Lin Fei accepted Dongfang Yijian's kindness without hesitation. After arranging a place for him to stay, Dongfang Yijian left. Mount Celestial Worthy was about to open, and he needed to find some people to join the team. Lin Fei also temporarily stayed at the house. He quietly waited for the day when Mount Celestial Worthy opened. "Young master, there's news." In a hall on another mountain peak, young Master Xing Chen's men obtained information about the black-robed man. To be able to use the mysterious power of space, he must have a powerful background. Young Master Xing Chen chose not to make a move for the time being. Many ancient forces sent representatives to announce their existence. Even if young Master Xing Chen had a powerful background, he had to be careful lest he offend the ancient forces and attract strong enemies for his family. Di Tian, the #1 expert of the mysterious Sky World, a dual bloodline controller who defeated the Divine World Army led by Divine Reverend Rainbow. Young Master Xing Chen flipped through the information and was shocked. His background was not small. Just because he was a dual bloodline controller, young Master Xing Chen was worth paying attention to. What a good Di Tian! He offended all the major forces of the divine world. Instead of hiding in the invincible palace of the mysterious Sky World, he dared to come out and show off. He's digging his own grave. Young Master Xing Chen's eyes shone coldly as boundless killing intent filled the hall. "Go! Help me spread the news that Di Tian of the mysterious Sky World has come to Mount Celestial Worthy and is staying in Dongfang Yijian Senfu." Young Master Xing Chen said to his men, "Young Master, why don't you kill him yourself? No one will care if he dies without any backing." Someone beside young Master Xing Chen asked, "Fool, Di Tian has dual bloodlines. If it was in the past, no one would dare to be impudent. But now that so many forces have appeared, Di Tian is a human-shaped treasure. Many ancient forces have inherited powerful secret arts that can refine anything. Many people will be tempted by the top-notch spatial and time bloodlines. Di Tian, bad news!" On this day, Dongfang Yijian hurried to Lin Fei's house. Lin Fei had not cultivated for the past few days. Instead, he had been reading secret histories and was very relaxed. "What's wrong? What's the matter that made you rush over?" Lin Fei said calmly. Dongfang Yijian said anxiously, "Someone spread the news that you came to the Celestial Worthy Mountain and that you have 2 peak bloodlines. Then someone offered a bounty to kill you, and someone even offered to strip you of your bloodline. I'm sure it was done by Sir Xing Chen. Right now, many geniuses from the God world are stirring. What a good way to kill someone with a borrowed knife." Lin Fei narrowed his eyes and put down the secret histories. "I was wondering why there was no movement these past few days. So it's this kind of conspiracy. It's best if you don't go out during this period of time. In my Senfu, they won't dare to barge in." Dongfang Yijian scolded young Master Xing Chen for being shameless. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, 3 tyrannical auras descended from the sky above Senfu. Terrifying divine auras landed on Senfu. "Di Tian, you killed my sex elder. Come out and accept your death." A loud rumble echoed throughout Mount Celestial Worthy. Many experts were alarmed and looked towards the mountain peak. Chapter 1932. 3 powerful divine auras rushed toward the Senfu on the lone peak. The Senfu shook violently. The Senfu's defensive formations glowed brightly, blocking the divine auras. Such a huge commotion also attracted the attention of the powerhouses in the first instance. What's going on? Aren't those 3 experts from the 3 divine emperors' factions? What's going on? Why would they do it themselves? Did someone in the Senfu offend them? Tian, what a familiar name. Right? Wasn't there a rumor recently that the person who massacred the experts of the divine world was called Tian? All eyes were on the Senfu. Soon, someone understood what was going on. There had been rumors circulating recently about Tian. Rumor had it that he was a master of double bloodlines. It was hard not to know about him. Someone has their eyes on Tian's double bloodlines. Rumor has it that there are ancient factions that have mastered the art of refining bloodlines. It's rare to find even one such bloodline, let alone two. Tian is out of luck. An elder understood the meaning of the matter. Just when everyone thought there were only 3 godly venerable experts, several powerful figures appeared in the void. They were all famous experts in the divine realm. In less than a moment, 20 to 30 godly venerable experts surrounded the Senfu, clamoring to kill Tian and avenge the deaths of their elders and disciples. The godly venerable experts from the 8 divine emperors are here. There are also a few godly venerable experts from ancient factions. Many of them are here to fish in troubled waters. Child Xingqian, who had been observing the situation, sat in the Senfu, drinking a mortal brew. He squinted his eyes and looked satisfied. Make a scene, make a scene. Who knows how many people want to refine a double bloodline controller? I'll fulfill your wish. Child Xingqian liked to be in control of things. Everything went according to plan. The 8 divine emperors and the reclusive divine emperors all had their eyes on Tian, who had no backing. Child Xingqian wanted to see how Tian would deal with this crisis. Tian, you've killed our Jingyi sect's disciple. If you don't show yourself, don't blame me for killing you myself. An ultimate god expert from the Jingyi sect said coldly, Little thing, if you know what's good for you, then hurry up and come out and accept our judgment. Otherwise, you won't be able to escape today, and there will be no place for you in this world. There were more and more onlookers. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air when they saw the powerful existences in the sky. To deal with a nobody from the forsaken land of the gods, was it worth it for so many powerful figures to take action? Everyone suddenly wanted to see this Tian and see if he had 3 heads and 6 arms. He had offended a major force in one go. To the people of the god world, killing Tian was an extremely glorious thing. He still hasn't come out yet. He must be afraid. With so many experts present, even if he has 3 heads and 6 arms, that Tian can forget about surviving. Needless to say, these are basically peak ultimate gods with monstrous combat powers. Rumor has it that Tian is very powerful, but I'm afraid he might not be that powerful. There was no sound from Senfu. Everyone thought Tian was afraid. At that moment, no one would not be afraid. Any of the peak ultimate gods present could suppress a strong enemy, let alone Tian. Just when everyone was guessing, the main gate of Senfu opened, and a black-robed man walked out and stood at the gate. Not bad, so many people came. The black-robed man seemed to be talking to himself. The black-robed man was, of course, Lin Fei. Lin Fei did not have such an idea. He did not mind using blood to tell those people what would happen if they underestimated him. Is he Tian? He doesn't look like much. He's too ordinary. Many people were disappointed. It was completely different from what they had imagined. Little thing, do you admit to your crimes? A tyrannical existence stared at Lin Fei with a murderous look. Lin Fei said lazily, Admit to my crimes? Who do you think you are? Do you really think you're a divine emperor? Even if you're a divine emperor, you're not qualified to make me admit to my crimes. The tyrannical existence was enraged, and his murderous intent was so strong that everyone within the vicinity could not breathe. I'm Immortal Emperor Sex, Protector Fei Yong. 60 years ago, you killed our Immortal Emperor Sex disciple. Do you admit to your crimes? Lin Fei glanced at him. I was wondering why you're so arrogant. Turns out you're a protector. My reputation is not small. You even came out to make me admit to my crimes. However, I don't know the disciple you're talking about. There are too many people here, and I've forgotten about him. Hierarch Fei Yong said loudly, since you've admitted to killing the immortal Emperor Sect's disciple, come with us if you don't want to die on the spot. The sect's higher-ups will personally judge you. Someone immediately sneered. Hierarch Fei Yong, what you're doing is wrong. Judging Ditian is our demon mystic sect's business. Since when is it your immortal Emperor Sect's turn? Another tyrannical hierarch said unhappily, none of you can take Ditian away. If anyone is to be taken back, it should be us, the Bliss Palace. The people under the 8 divine emperors were quite resentful towards Ditian. Most importantly, Ditian had a double bloodline, which was very tempting. Everyone wanted to bring him back to the sect. Even if they couldn't refine him, he was still a human-shaped treasure. No matter if it was used for trading or for other uses, it was something that couldn't be neglected. Now that they heard that immortal Emperor Sect's Fei Yong wanted to bring Ditian back, everyone disagreed. They were fighting to bring Ditian back. Why could they bring him back and they couldn't? Facing the crowd of experts, Lin Fei coughed and said, everyone seems to be very interested in me, but you seem to have forgotten something. If you want to leave, you have to ask for my permission first. Just when everyone thought that Ditian would choose to surrender, they didn't expect him to be even more arrogant and say something that shocked everyone present. He's too arrogant. With so many experts attacking him, I'm afraid he won't be able to withstand a single blow. Someone was watching a good show. Hierarch Fei Yong was infuriated by the other forces, but he couldn't do anything to them. He thought to himself, if you don't let me take him away, I'll make the first move. Let's see how you're going to deal with it. How arrogant. I'm going to take you away. Do I have to beg you to not agree? Hierarch Fei Yong attacked angrily. How dare he be so arrogant after killing his sect's disciple? His arm expanded and he clawed with his 5 fingers, as if the entire world fell into his palm. Many tyrannical existences cursed Hierarch Fei Yong for being shameless. They didn't care about the consequences and attacked one after another. The sky above Senfu was quickly shrouded by a tyrannical aura that covered the sky.